leading scorer for the Bucks did not play, and Jordan Nasuti was battling an illness as well. Newark Charter on the other end of town was on the wrong end of a 72-50 game at Apo High. So both these teams looking to get back on a winning track. Caravel Academy is having quite a year when a lot of people assumed they didn't have another state tournament run in them. Before tonight's defeat, the Buccaneers had lost to just two teams in Delaware, St. George's and Glasgow, and had ripped off 8 straight wins before that Tuesday night defeat against Apo High. Newark Charter School is hoping to make the state tournament for the second straight year and just the second time in the varsity program's short history. Despite losing the school's first 1,000-point scorer, Justin Thomas, to graduation, first-year coach Joe Zhang likes this team's makeup, but also knows they face a big challenge tonight, literally and figuratively, as the Bucks will have a big size advantage underneath. Marty, what we have here tonight is a team that most likely will be in the playoffs in Caravel Academy, but still jockeying for position, whether it's a coveted first-round bye or a higher seed for a home playoff game in the first round. And a second team, Newark Charter, literally sitting on the fence in this, their final regular season game.
That's right. For Caravel, it's hard to believe, again, we talked about this early in the season, but they're only 4 years removed from a 3-17 regular season. In the 3 full years since, they've gone to the playoffs every year. They've averaged 14 wins a year. They went to the state finals 2 years ago, state semifinals last year. They haven't been able to get over the hump. A lot of people thought when Okoye Parker left, graduated last season, that their run was over. They've picked up right where they left off. They look very strong. Coming off a loss, as you said, that was due to a lot in part due to Kevin Keister, one of the cogs of their offense, missing their last game against Middletown. For Newark Charter, they're a team on the rise, a program on the rise. They've only been around for 3 or 4 seasons. They made their first state tournament last year, pulling in the 17 seed and losing to Glasgow in the first round. But they're a team on the move. They're a young team. They are only 2 seniors who see significant minutes on this team. So it's one that Coach Joe Zhang has kind of brought along at a good pace. They don't play a terribly difficult schedule, which is why at 13-6, with this being their last game, they're still somewhere on the fence of whether they're even going to get into the state tournament. A win over Caravel tonight and the accompanying bonus point that come with it would be huge. So look for Newark Charter. Again, this is the first time we found out that they've been on 302 Sports. We believe the first time their basketball team may have been on the radio. So maybe they're going to give us a big show tonight. Caravel is looking to pick up again from that loss to Apo. They want to get back on the right track. They still have 2 more games after tonight. Newark Charter looking to play the spoiler.
It's senior night here at Caravel Academy. We got a good crowd. You always know it's a good crowd when we're up on the stage because that means they needed that extra set of bleachers, so we couldn't be at midcourt. We got a good view here. A couple flying basketballs came at us at a JV game that went into overtime,
yes,
and it was won by Newark Charter School. They actually came back from a double-digit deficit, I believe, in the first quarter of that JV game. But a nice crowd here. Newark Charter travels well, and, of course, Caravel Academy has a lot of fan support here also. So let's take a little bit closer look at this Newark Charter team. They're coached by Joseph Zhang. He took over the program this year after serving as an assistant last year. Before he came to Newark Charter, he was the head coach at nearby Elkton High School for 6 years and playing in the county, Cecil County, where he actually played at Bohemia Manor, earned a varsity letter all 4 years. And Marty, this Newark Charter team does not have a long history. They've only been a varsity team for a few years. Last year they opened some eyes with a tournament berth, got knocked out in the first round by Glasgow. They're trying to build on that momentum and hoping to get back to a tournament again this year.
They are. As we said in the open, they don't play a terribly difficult schedule. Arguably their best wins have been over Conrad and Delaware Military Academy, but they're coming along the right way. Again, it's a mix of young and veteran players. They run a pretty standard system, 4-around-1. They employ a 1-2-2 press a lot of the time. One of their games that we were able to see against Salesianum, they played Sal's well for about the first 10 minutes of the game. Sally's height, which Newark Charter is very deficient in the height department. Sally's height gave them all kinds of trouble. But they're led by a senior, Perrin John, a kid who, and you know, I'll kind of lump the junior Brett Lesher in with him. They average about 31 points a game. John averages 16, Lesher about 15. But they can hurt you from inside and outside. They're a team that likes to work from the inside out. They'll pass the ball around the inside. Marvin Nuwanaku is their man inside. Nuwanaku, excuse me, is their man inside. They'll get it into him, hope the defense collapses, and then kick it back out to John and Lesher. They also have some really good players that fill in on occasion. Brett Callahan, Jr., Reed Burkhardt, Jr. has done a really nice job, especially defensively. John and Lesher are the guys who lead the way. They're either 1 and 2 in scoring, rebounding, and assists. You go up and down the lineup. I believe Lesher also leads the team with 11 blocks. Nuwaniku is the only real presence inside. So for them, it's going to be a matter of getting position, boxing out, being fundamentally sound against this much taller Caravel team. When they were able to corral Sally's and control them, keep them off the boards, they could stay in the game. Once Sally started using their height, they really started to fall apart. They had to press. Their youngsters still struggle against some of the better competition. When I watched them against Sally's and against Concord, you could tell there's a difference. Concord really wasn't able to bother them too much with pressure. Sally's, once they started a full court press, the turnovers came in bunches, and that's when the Sals made their run to put them away. So this is a program, I mean, they have a good base to draw from. It's going to be a program to watch for in the future, and it's a team that really is going to give people some trouble these days. I mean, you look at Salesianum, it ended as a 7-point win. Now, Sal's did score 50 first-half points, but Newark Charter played them virtually even. I believe they actually even won the second half of that game. So they are capable of holding their own against a better competition. It's just a question of coming into a Caravel gym where Caravel is coming off a loss that they weren't expecting. They're going to get a buzzsaw in Caravel tonight. They better be prepared.
Newark Charter is a school that is slowly building its athletic programs in a lot of different ways. Brian Lesher, his son here tonight playing. Brian, former pro baseball player, played at UD. Zach Lesher played baseball. They're building the baseball program at Newark Charter School. Brian's the manager of that team. The wrestling program made the state tournament as a 6th seed for the first time in their school history, and so that's an exciting time. So it's an exciting time for Newark Charter, but as you said, they're coming in to play a program that is very well established. Mark Tobin, the head coach in his 5th year, he coached for a lot of years at Padua Academy, and he's been a head coach for more than 20 years here in Delaware, so no stranger to what it takes to get to the state tournament and what to do once you're there. This team, as you mentioned, has done more than they've expected, more than a lot of people expected, and they're as strong as anyone in the state that we've seen when they're all healthy and they're all playing well.
That's it. We saw them a few weeks ago against St. Mark's, and frankly, we were expecting a really, really close game. But Caravel, after about the first quarter or so and adjusted to St. Mark's height with Ludman and Marcello, the bigger body kids, I should say, really adjusted and turned it on, and they have talent up and down this roster. For me, it really starts with Brandon St. Pachon, who's the senior on this team, is 6 foot. He's taken over as the point guard from Okoye Parker. He averages 12 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists a game, but he can do so much of everything. He'll be inside battling the big guys to post up if he needs to. He'll also, at 6 foot, two-handed, one-handed dunk. It doesn't matter to him if you leave him unguarded around the perimeter and leave him a lane, he'll take off. Kevin Keister is a kid who, he didn't start out the season as the offensive threat. It was really Jordan Nasuti that they tried to get the ball into early in the season. Keister came on, and it happened organically. It just sort of happened in the flow of their offense. Keister now averages 16.5 points a game. He did miss their last game where they lost to Appoquinimink again, something they weren't really looking to happen. At 13-5, they were hoping to finish off the season on a win streak. Middletown had been struggling up to that point. It was actually a big win for a Middletown team that still has hopes to get into the tournament. Justin Owens, 6'5", guard forward slash. He's one of those kids that has really come on over the last, I'd say, 5 or 6 games for this Caravel team. He'd been kind of quiet before that. Again, Jordan Nasuti, a big threat from the outside. And then the big guy inside, Jeb Williams, who does a fantastic job. He's coming on. He's a junior. He's a little gangly at this point. Is pushed out by some of the bigger players. We saw that against Ludman and Marcello of St. Mark's. But he's really starting to improve fundamentally in learning how to get some of those bigger guys out of the block. And then you also have Tabanyan, obviously, a kid with a lot of length. He's one of those kids, he's kind of a slash player. One of those guys, he kind of reminds me of Jameer Garnett from Smyrna last year, where he can play a guard position. He can post up if you need to. He can shoot the three-pointer from outside. He can also drive it. He'll battle inside for some rebounds. They get some nice minutes from some guys off the bench, although this is primarily the top 5 guys will play a lot. The last 4 games I saw Brandon St. Pachon on tape, he played every minute of every game. So these kids are well conditioned, they're ready to go, and they're hoping to get back on track against a Newark charter team that still has hopes of making the state tournament.
Tugbanyan, Sangbachan, and Nasudi playing their last games here at Caravel Academy. It's senior night. Caravel has 2 games remaining, and they both take place away. For Newark Charter, this is their night. It's my understanding that those seniors are also going to be introduced, so a nice touch here by the Caravel Academy administration and coaching staff. We're about 4 minutes from player introductions. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the rest of the state of Delaware and what's going on in the world of hoops, as we are less than a week, actually 6 days away from the final regular season day, and by this time next week we will know who is in the state tournament field. You're listening to the High School Game of the Week on Fox Sports 1290 and watching it live on 302 Sports.
Start the year out right with a clean financial slate at American Spirit Federal Credit Union. American Spirit can help with loan refinancing opportunities designed to save you money. New and used auto loans as low as 2.99% APR. Personal loans, home equity loans, lines of credit, and mortgages too. Make American Spirit Federal Credit Union your financial institution today, with locations in Newark, Middletown, and Dover, offering 24/7 services to make managing your money a snap. Learn more at AmericanSpirit.org.
Mark your calendars now for the 64th DFRC Blue Gold All.
And go beyond the norm. Be a part of the Dover Federal family.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
No matter where you are in life, at every stage, we are here for you. For all of life's big moments, and everything in between. After all, that's what families are for. We promise to make a positive difference in your financial life and go beyond the norm. Be a part of the Dover Federal family.
Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus: wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create. He began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Mr. Italian began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the
safe to say, it seems what it seems like. They've had a couple of good records and haven't gotten in, and it's all the strength of your opponent. And so, you know, that's just the nature of the beast here in Delaware High School basketball. But tonight's win certainly would do. It certainly wouldn't hurt them. It definitely would help them. And we don't know for sure. They might be able to lose and still get in. There's still a lot of basketball to be played by a lot of other teams. It just happens to be the last game here for Newark Charter School. Let's take a quick look at the top 10, and this top 10 and the records that we'll say were put together earlier in the week by Brad Myers of the News Journal. Sanford's #1 as they've been for just about the entire season in most of the polls that you'll see. They're 13-4. They have yet to lose a game in the state of Delaware, if I'm correct. Their losses have come to other states. Stan Waterman in his 28th year at Caravel, he basically puts together a regular season schedule so that when they get to the state tournament, it seems easy.
That's right.
And so Sanford, we got to see them play, and they are loaded. We saw them play St. Elizabeth. They've got a lot of talent, and they're going to be a tough out. But they've come into the last couple state tournaments and people thinking they were going to be a tough out, and they got knocked out. And so it's not an automatic.
No, it's not. And one of the things you see when teams play Sanford, they get the absolute best of the opponent. It's almost like a Super Bowl type game for the opponents. and mostly because Sanford guys are always being nationally recruited, or they're ranked number 1 or 2 in the state. You know, this year we have Jair Davis, who, depending upon which service you look at, is among the top 50 or 100 players in any class in the nation. Nana Njoku is a kid who's doing a phenomenal job inside. And just when you think, you know, one of the teams they played shut down the inside guys, and all of a sudden you forget the Perkins cousins are outside, and they just drain threes. We saw them get really hot at varying points during St. Elizabeth. So Stan, you know, I like he went 8 or 9 deep in that game versus St. Elizabeth. And one of the things, it keeps this program just rolling. They never rebuild. They're always reloading for the next season. And I think, as you said, one of the things is, and we talked about this in one of our other broadcasts, is they tend to every now and then play down to the level of opposition. I think in the state tournament, in the games where they lost, they all of a sudden get challenged by an in-state team, which they haven't seen at all during the season. If you go back over this season, St. George's is the only team that gave them any kind of a game. And that was in the first game of the season. Right. So it's been a while since a Delaware team has really challenged them. They beat Del Castle by close to 60 points on Tuesday night, I believe. So they don't get a lot of in-state competition. But come this March, this really feels like this could be Stan's next title since the Lincoln-Dixon days.
Anytime you have that much talent, and then you've got a coach who is an assistant coach for the United States under-17 team, you know, it's going to be tough for anybody that comes in against them. They're announcing the seniors here. Nice touch by Caravel. They actually had little gifts for the seniors from Newark Charter, and now they're introducing the players from Caravel Academy. Sangbachan's out there now, and Tabanyan's going out now, flanked by parents out in center court. And again, it's Tabanyan, Sangbachan, and then JJ Nasudi, who will be the last one to come out as well. So senior night here, second time we've done a senior night game. Yes. That's what happens when you get to the end of the season, and we'll be in Smyrna next Tuesday, and that'll be senior night for the Eagles as well. All right, Sanford's number 1, Dover's number 2, 17-0, Marty. And they've shocked a lot of people. They got out to a hot start, and I know we were among the ones, you know, hey, are they really that good, or is the Henlopen North Conference that bad? Dover doesn't play out of state. I don't think they played one out of state team. No. And, you know, sometimes what happens downstate is you get a couple Division II teams, and so it's really hard to gauge exactly how good they are. And they actually, you know, they put together a 17-0 record, and I was saying on the air last week, I don't remember, I've been doing this, I think this is my 12th year, there has never been an undefeated team at this point in the season in Delaware boys high school basketball. Sanford's been undefeated in state, yes, but they still had, like they do now, they've had a few losses out of state. So Dover High School has done quite a good job putting that program together. The question will be is if they can sustain it into the tournament.
That's right. Honestly, I was trying to rack my brain thinking the St. Mark's team under Lee Sibley back in maybe 1994, 1995, I believe, went undefeated throughout the regular season and then the state tournament. Beyond that, you're right. It's a very difficult task, and guards Eaton Davis and Elijah Allen have done a great job keeping that team afloat, trading 20-point nights every night. So
Sanford and Dover, the front runners heading into this year's state tournament. We're going to see what's going to happen here tonight in just a few minutes as we get set for the national anthem. We'll be right back with tip-off between Caravel Academy and Newark Charter School.
Start the year out right with a clean financial slate at American Spirit Federal Credit Union. American Spirit can help with loan refinancing opportunities designed to save you money. New and used auto loans as low as 2.99% APR. Personal loans, home equity loans, lines of credit, and mortgages too. Make American Spirit Federal Credit Union your financial institution today. With locations in Newark, Middletown, and Dover, offering 24/7 services to make managing your money a snap. Learn more at americanspirit.org.
With Domino's week-long carry-out deal, you can carry out large 3-topping pizzas and now medium 3-topping handmade pan pizzas for $7.99 each. It's fantastic news.
Cut. Puns?
You mean pans? Calling all pan addicts for 2 layers of cheese on crispy golden crust. So grab your panty packs, because Domino's large 3-topping pizzas and medium 3-topping handmade pan pizzas are $7.99 each. It's pandemonium. Fantastico. Carry out only. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary.
High school basketball is on Fox Sports 1290, foxsports1290am.com, and on iHeartRadio. You're listening to the Delaware High School Hoops Game of the Week, presented by the U.S. Air Force.
Welcome back to Caravel Academy. John Busby along with Marty Sheehan as you heard the end of the rendition of the national anthem as we get set for tip-off between Caravel Academy and Newark Charter School. Both these schools have beaten 4 teams of commonality who they played: Archmere, Red Lion, Conrad, and Tatnall. The difference is Caravel won by several points. Newark Charter's games were much closer. Last year, Caravel beat this Newark Charter team 75-51 at Newark Charter School. Your starters for the visiting Patriots: Perrin John, Brett Callahan, Khalil Proctor, Brett Lesher, and Marvin Nuanaku. For Caravel: Kai Tabanyan, Brendan Sangbachan, Kevin Keister, Justin Owens, and Jeb Williams. It looks like it will be, JJ Nasuti is in, not Jeb Williams, and he will be jumping against Marvin Nuanaku here. We are at the stage, and so we are sort of in the end zone here. Newark Charter is going to be coming toward us. They're in their bright red uniforms with the black numbers, and Caravel Academy in the home white going the other direction as we see it. And the jump ball is up. Nasuti wins it, and we are underway here at Caravel Academy. Sangbachan has it on the left wing. Looks like they're trying to set up Newark Charter School. Looks to be in a man-to-man sagging defense there. Nasuti has it on the left wing. And Caravel just trying to get a feel of what they're doing here. Sangbachan gets it underneath to Nasuti. Turnaround jumper on the baseline. Partially blocked, but they're going to call foul. So Nasuti will head to the foul line and shoot 2.
And the way Caravel started that possession is exactly the way they're going to approach this game. They're going to work it around the perimeter. They're going to try to find Nasuti or Justin Owens inside. They're going to work against this much smaller Newark Charter team. And Newark Charter has been a team that's gotten in foul trouble on occasion because of the fact that because of the size, teams try to get inside a lot more often as JJ Nasuti misses the first.
That was on Marvin Nuanaku, the junior, his first, and the team's first here as we're just 21 seconds into play at Caravel Academy. Second foul shot for Nasuti is up and good, a 48% free throw shooter. So Caravel Academy on the scoreboard first, 1-0. Full court man-to-man pressure here. Perrin John has it. He's bringing it up. Keister and Sangbachan go for the trap. Trap gets broken. John has it back in his hands.
As I said in the pregame, one of the reasons Caravel is going to open in the press is that Newark Charter has struggled against the press throughout the season, especially if you see that Salesianum game. They really turned the ball over a lot against the full court press.
Caravel's in a man-to-man. John with a jumper from the left elbow. No good. Owens comes down with the rebound for Caravel as they head away from us as we see it. Nasuti's going to pull up for 3, and that's going to be an air ball. And so a tough first shot. Nasuti pats himself on his chest, says that's on me. It's going to be turnover to Newark Charter.
Yeah, Perrin John did a really nice job of kind of stopping on a dime and coming up and getting in Nasuti's face just as he let that go. Nasuti looked like he was going to have a wide open 3, and John provided the pressure.
Proctor brings it across half court. John with the exact same shot. That one banked in, though. Not sure if he did that on purpose, but it's 2 points either way. Newark Charter School with the lead, 2-1.
John's a kid who's really got some star qualities. He's done a great job of inside and out for this Newark Charter team.
Keister pump fakes on the left baseline, drives in for about a 10-foot jumper. It's long, but comes back and goes out of bounds off Newark Charter. It's going to stay Caravel ball.
That's unfortunate. The rebound was headed right to Khalil Proctor, the junior guard for Newark Charter. It was knocked out of bounds. Perrin John trying to get a hand on it, didn't realize his teammate was right behind him.
Sangbachan to inbounds, having trouble there. Finally gets it into Owens. Owens on the left baseline gets it back to Sangbachan. Had the 3, decided not to get it. Perrin John comes out to cover him. Pump fake back out front to Owens. Owens is going to fire from the top of the key. Nothing but the bottom of the net.
Owens, a great shot. Owens has been phenomenal the last, like I said, 4 or 5 games. Granted, Sangbachan again with the baseball pass, a blistering pass to get out to Owens that they didn't have time to recover, Newark Charter.
And it's Lesher with a 3-pointer on the left wing, no good. And Keister comes down with it. A couple baseball names there. Keister with a great pass underneath to Owens, goes up. It's blocked. Looks like John got the block. Proctor on the other side, drives in on a layup with the right hand from the left side. No good. Nuanaku with the rebound. That goes up hard off the backboard, and Nasuti comes down with it. 4-2. Newark Charter with the lead. Caravel with the ball. Sangbachan crosses half court and pulls it back out, sets something up. Man-to-man defense for Newark Charter. Sangbachan looking to run a play here. His team trails 4-2. Caravel ranked number 5 with their 12-5 record. Sangbachan struggles with it, gets it back out to the left. That's going to be a jumper by Tabanyan. That's long, and John comes down with a rebound for Newark Charter.
Perrin John is all over the place. Valentine did a really nice job defensively on Sempachan.
Sangbachan knocks it away. It goes to Owens. He gets it up to Sangbachan, makes a fancy move inside, and it's good.
Sempachan, his athleticism is off the charts. I've said that last time we did St. Mark's game. It's just a phenomenal job of body positioning he uses when he goes up for an awkward-looking shot. He ends up making it look easy with an adjustment midair.
5:04 to play. Caravel with a 6-2 lead. Newark Charter with the ball. Gets knocked out of Callahan's hands, and now it looks like it's going to go off Caravel. It'll stay Newark Charter ball.
And we're starting to see some of those red flags early for Newark Charter. Again, they get a little unsecure or insecure with the ball. They do turn the ball over a lot against some of the better competition.
And that's an air ball from Khalil Proctor on the left wing. Turnover to Caravel. Nasudi's going to inbound right in front of us. Proctor's going to provide a little pressure, just try to annoy Keister a little bit. Keister's father, of course, is a semi-pro, or I'm sorry, a minor league baseball manager. His grandfather is the headmaster here at Caravel Academy. Jumper by Owens from 3 on the left side. That's long, nothing but backboard. So a couple wild three-pointers from both teams. John comes down with it for Newark Charter. He gets it over to Lesher. Lesher with the short jumper on the right baseline. No good. John with the rebound. That gets blocked by Nasudi. John takes it up again. It gets blocked. Nuwanaku with the rebound. He puts it up and gets fouled. He's going to go to the line and shoot 2.
What we just saw there was a perfect example of why this can be a team to be reckoned with. Aaron John just does yeoman's work inside and out. That time fighting for 2 offensive rebounds, not able to put it through. Nuwanaku comes through with the final rebound, gets fouled on his layup.
And his first foul shot is up and good. A 38% free throw shooter on Nuwanaku. And Jeb Williams is trying to check in, but they sent it back. I guess he didn't get there in time.
What the heck?
Well, Newark Charter's guy's in for the shooter.
Yes.
Yeah, so either way, Nuwanaku getting ready to take his second shot. His team trailing 6-3. Second shot is up and no good. The foul, by the way, was on Sangbachan, his first, and the team's first as well. Sangbachan has it. 4:18 to play. Caravel with a 6-3 lead. Sangbachan has it out front. He's being guarded by Perrin John. Newark Charter in a man-to-man defense, and they're going to call an offensive foul, and that's going to be called on Justin Owens. He must have tried to push around and pick or something.
Yeah, there was a pick down low set by J.J. Nasudi, and when Owens came through is when the foul was called. And as you said, it wasn't called on Owens, or excuse me, on Nasudi. It was called on Owens for, I guess, making contact as he ran right through that pick.
And Nuwanaku is going to check out, and so is Burkhart.
A little slower pace than we thought at first from Caravel. They tended to play a little bit more up-tempo against St. Mark's. They've been content to hold the ball outside and work for a good shot.
And actually it's Nuwanaku who checked out. Burkhart is the one who checked in for Nuwanaku, so a little confusion there. Newark Charter has it, driving the baseline. That's Callahan. He gets it back out to John, who fires from 3 on the left wing. That's another air ball from 3. Not another one from John, another one in this game. I think it's our 3rd or 4th air ball we've seen from 3. And then a foul by Proctor. It's going to be his first. One of those ones probably ill-advised as Keister was trying to get the ball across half court, so quite a bit of length from the basket, and the foul committed there. It's going to be Caravel ball. 3:38 to play in the first quarter. They have a 6-3 lead here.
Yeah, both teams really struggling from the perimeter so far. It's been a feeling out process. Steal.
And a strip by Lesher. He took it right away from Banyan, and Lesher goes up and slams it home, much to the delight of the Newark Charter faithful in attendance here. Pulls his team within 6-5. So Tabanian kind of fell asleep there, got stripped, and all of a sudden the momentum has switched.
Lester showing those athletic genes he got from his father there, going up for the slam.
And drive by Nasudi. He dishes off to Williams. He goes up and misses. The big 6'9" kid who checked in for Owens at the last whistle. He's going to go up and shoot 2. And it looks like the foul is going to be on Reed Burkhart.
And the unfortunate thing there, for if you're Newark Charter, you have the 6'4" J.J. Nasudi dumping off to the 6'9" Jeb Williams. So nothing really you can do too much inside about that. If they get that close, there's nothing you can do as Jeb Williams misses the first.
Both these teams struggle from the free throw line. 52.7% is Caravel. Jeb Williams, 42%. And Tabanian's going to have a seat. Mark Tobin probably not real happy that he got stripped there. The second shot is up, and it is good. So Caravel extends its lead to 7-5. It's Owens who checked back in after a brief rest. We're at the 3-minute mark. Caravel leads 7-5. Newark Charter School keeping pace so far with the Bucks. They get it over to Proctor on the right wing. He pump fakes Sangbachan. Sangbachan knocks it away from him, and then Nasudi leads Sangbachan. Sangbachan drives in and slams it home.
Sangbachan, a great job there. I think I was actually afraid they might be calling a technical foul on Sangbachan. He actually, to save himself from hanging on the rim, he held on and actually took a body perpendicular to the ground. Fell on his face there after he slammed that home. But again, another show of athleticism from Brendan Sangbachan.
We have seen him over the years. He's so athletic. An alley-oop attempt, ball coming right at us. And that was Lesher trying to set up Parent John, and it went sailing over his head over to the 302 sports table. Fortunately, all the equipment and all the bodies are okay here. 2:25 to play. Caravel Academy's ball as they go the other way, away from us here in the stage with white uniforms with a maroon trim. Sangbachan has it. He gets it to Nasudi. Nasudi fires from three. He's short, so he's 0 for 2 from three-point range, but it looked like it went out of bounds off Newark Charter. Lesher wasn't able to grab it, so it's going to stay Caravel ball. The second time Newark Charter has gotten the ball tipped off of them out of bounds. Sangbachan has it. He works it around, gets it to Owen to place that up to set up Keister on the left corner. He misses. Nasudi comes down with it, gets knocked away from him, still knocked around. Nuwanaku comes up with it, and then driving in is Burkhart. He dishes off underneath to Nuwanaku, who goes up, and they're going to call traveling on Nuwanaku. So a couple passes trying to set Nuwanaku up underneath, and he ends up traveling. Checking in for Caravel, Tabanyan is going to check back in, and it looks like J.J. Nasudi is going to check out. Nasudi looks to be healthy. He had an illness against Middletown, so even though he played, he didn't play the entire game.
And Keister also looks none the worse for wear. He missed the game with an ankle injury, I believe. So both those guys, good news for Caravel.
Sangbachan drives in, dishes it underneath to Williams. Williams goes up and scores. Tough to stop the big guy underneath.
That's one area where Jeb Williams has really improved in catching the ball in these hot passes from Sangbachan.
Three-pointer on the other side by Reed Burkhart. His first points of the night, and it's 11-8. Caravel still with the lead, but Newark Charter won't go away. Sangbachan has it. He breaks half court. He's being guarded by Parent John, gets it over to Owens on the left wing. He fires from NBA range. That one's off. Nuwanaku comes down with a rebound. John has it. They've got numbers right now. And John comes driving down the middle, puts it up with a left hand, and good.
Parent John is so quick on that first step. He stopped at the top of the three-point arc and then just gave a little jitterbug step against the defender. Next thing you know, he's laying it in with his left hand. He, as I said, he's really got some qualities that make him a star.
Under a minute to play. A nice fake there by Sangbachan. Misses the three-pointer, but there to clean it up is Kevin Keister, the leading scorer, with his first 2 points of the night. It's 13-10. Caravel with the lead. 42 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. Burkhart's got it on the left wing. He's being guarded by Tabanyan. They get it over to John at the top of the key. He drives by Sangbachan. Pull-back jumper, step-back jumper, no good. Nuwanaku with a rebound in the lane, puts it up and scores his third point of the night. He pulls Caravel to within one, 13-12, with 21 seconds left to play.
Nuwanaku, a great job, just out-muscling Tabanyan and Jeb Williams inside for that rebound, then hit the little fadeaway 5-6 foot jumper to bring Newark Charter within one, and it's been a really entertaining first quarter.
Sangbachan drives in, puts it up, and good. So Sangbachan, the athlete, answers his 6th point of the night. It's a 15-12 lead. And Proctor nails a three from midcourt. Khalil Proctor brings this crowd to life and ties the game 15-15 at the end of the first quarter. The best shot we've seen all season. And that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. We got a good one, folks. Caravel Academy 15, Newark Charter 15. We'll be back with the second quarter right after this.
As a military wife, I love helping our airmen and their families with financial tools to help provide financial stability.
I promise to make a positive difference in your financial life, from helping you to lower your payments to discovering ways to help you save for your children's future.
From the needs of college students and first-time auto buyers, I promise to identify and take ownership of your needs.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
As a military wife, I love helping our airmen and their families with financial tools to help provide financial stability.
I promise to make a positive difference.
Living your life cutthroat, you gotta be so cold. Yeah, you're a natural.
Alexa, play Imagine Dragons.
Okay. 'Cause you're a natural.
We can come back after this.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get access to over 50 million songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Over a decade of high school basketball on Fox Sports 1290 and iHeartRadio. This is the high school football game of the week, presented by the U.S. Air Force on Fox Sports 1290 and our iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back to Caravel Academy. A half-court buzzer beater at the end of the first quarter by Newark Charter's Khalil Proctor tied it up 15-15. Caravel held the lead the entire first half, and then coming out here to start the second quarter, it was Perrin John getting fouled on a three-point attempt, so he's at the line shooting 3 free throws. Foul was on Owens. It's Owens' second foul for Caravel. Perrin John, a 65% free throw shooter. He made the first. Second one is on the way, and nothing but the bottom of the net. So Newark Charter enjoying its first lead of the night, 17-15 with 1 free throw left to go for Perrin John. He's got 6 points. He's the leading scorer for Newark Charter, averaging 16 points a game. Shot is up and good. So 3 for 3 from the free throw line, and it's an 18-15 lead for Newark Charter. If you're just tuning in, Caravel Academy is shoo-in for the playoffs, but Newark Charter's got some work to do and has to hope for some other teams to either get losses or wins to get them more points one way or the other. And there's going to be a foul for Tim Cooper, who checked in for the first time tonight. Cooper is in along with Lesher, Nuwanaku, Burkhart, and Perrin John for Newark Charter as we are underway here. Foul is on the ground. Nasuti is going to fire from long distance 3. That's his 3rd miss from out long. That was an NBA 3. And with the rebound is Tabanyan. Keister has it on the right side. I'm sorry, that was Sangbachan. He gets it to Keister on the left side. Keister being guarded by Tim Cooper. Nasuti has it. He's driving in on Nuwanaku, puts it up. Nuwanaku swats it right back in his face. And a foul is good. That was Tabanyan. Got shielded there for a second, who came down with the rebound, put it up, and the basket is good. So Kai Tabanyan, his first 2 points of the night, and it is going to be 18-17. Checking in for Newark Charter is Joe Gugerty, and he is going to check in for Nuwanaku, who just picked up his 2nd foul of the night, and it's the 5th foul for Newark Charter School.
You love to see the work inside. Kai Tabanyan. Just a great job of outworking everyone inside. He didn't have the best position to come up with that and complete the 3-point play.
And so it is 18-18, our second tie of the night, tied at the end of the first quarter. They worked it around. Ball gets swatted away from Cooper, and coming down with it is Gugerty. And Gugerty gets it over to John, and they're going to call a traveling violation. So it's going to be Caravel ball 1 minute into this second quarter, 18-18 tie.
Unfortunately for John, his eyes got a little big there. When he took the pass, he saw a clear lane to the basket. Took that first step right before the ball made contact with the court, which they're always going to call a walking foul.
And so Keister has it over half court. He gets it to Sangbachan, looking for a pick from Tabanyan. Gets it back over to Keister. Keister pull-up jumper from 3 is an air ball, and John comes down with it. He whips it ahead to Lesher. Lesher goes up for the dunk, misses it, but is fouled by Tabanyan, and so he will go to the line. Brett Lesher, that is, an 81% free throw shooter. Went for the dunk, would have been his 2nd dunk of the night. And I tell you, I'm not sure how tall he is, but he can jump.
He really can. And the unfortunate thing for me is he looked like he had an easier layup there and made that a little more difficult for himself with the dunk, which enabled anytime you make contact with the shooter, you have a chance to knock them off base as he hits the first of the 2 free throws. But I've been really impressed with Lesher's athleticism. He kind of plays on a level kind of like Brendan Sempachan with the leaping ability and ability to the court vision. So nice job by Brett Lesher making a name for himself here in this Caravel game.
And the second one is up and good. 4 points on the night, and it's a 20-18 lead for Newark Charter. Reed Burkhart is out. Brett Callahan is in. Lesher, of course, the brother of Zach Lesher, who played sports here for Caravel. He's now for Newark Charter, as Keister nails a jump shot on baseline, his 4th point of the night, and we've got another tie ball game. John races no time on the other side, throws up a 3. That's long, and Tabanyan comes down with it. I'll finish my Lesher story in a minute. This game's too frantic. Coast to coast. Keister, a one-handed floater from the free throw line. Not sure what he was thinking. Missed it by about 1.5 feet to the left off the backboard. John on the other side, a fancy move to the basket and drains a layup. So Newark Charter back up 22-20.
Tabanyan had perfect positioning on Perrin John that time, and at the last minute, John put a juke on in the air to finish that off.
And a great pass inside to Owens, and if he just got called for his offensive foul, that will be his third. I think they're actually going to call it on Segbachan, who ran over a defender. They are. It's going to be on Segbachan, so that'll be his second, as Proctor checks in, and checking out is Joe Gugerty. So we've got John, Proctor, Burkhart, Lesher, and Brett Callahan for Newark Charter. Tabanyan, Keister, Sangbachan, Nusati, and that looks like Justin Owens for Caravel.
I'm kind of surprised Caravel's not tried to work it more inside, and now Newark Charter doing a really nice job working the ball around offensively and finding some open territory.
Brett Callahan drives in on the left side, puts it up with the right, his first 2 points of the night, and it's a 4-point lead, 24-20 for Newark Charter, their largest lead of the night. Sangbachan has the ball up at the top of the key. He gets it over to Owens, gives it back out to Sangbachan at the top. Nasuti's got it on the right side. He's being guarded closely by Callahan. Owens with a three-pointer, no good. John comes down with a rebound underneath for Newark Charter.
Newark Charter doing a great job inside on the defensive rebounds. John making sure he has all kinds of room down low. As I said, he's a guy who can play inside and out, and Caravel really struggling from the field.
It looks like a zone defense Caravel is playing here, like a 2-3 zone, but they're extended on the wings there. John has it, and they're going to call an offensive foul. He pushed off Keister, and so Perrin John picks up his first foul. That's the sixth foul against Newark Charter as Webb checks in for Nasuti. So Caravel will be shooting 1-1 the rest of the way. We're at the 4:27 mark here in the second quarter, a 24-20 lead for Newark Charter. The Patriots looking for the upset here. They come in at 13-6 and really could use another win come tournament selection time. Sangbachan has it on the right side. He gets it over to Keister. Keister being guarded closely by Proctor. Keister pushed off, no call. Step back jumper from three is short. The rebound is long, right into the hands of Owens for Caravel, so they keep possession. Sangbachan drives in, a little floater in the lane. That's an air ball, and coming down with it is Lesher for Newark Charter. He gives it off to John as they come at us in the bright red uniforms. John loses control. Sangbachan with another steal. He's going in 1-on-2, floats it up and good off the back of the rim.
Sangbachan, a nice job there. I know he would have liked to have dunked that, but he thought better of it with the two defenders sandwiching him. Goes up and puts it right over the front of the rim for the easy two.
And a three-pointer by Proctor. This one a little bit closer than his half-court one, and it's a long off the back of the rim rebound on the other end. It's Owens driving baseline and scores.
Justin Owens, that's him at his best. He could take the pass on the wing. He has such a quick first step. If you give him any kind of room down by the baseline, he'll scoot through and lay it in for two, which is what he just did.
Fourth tie of the night, 24-24, 3:18 to play. Working it around, Proctor's got it on the right wing. 2-3 zone by Caravel Academy. John has it now. 3:07 to play. Looking for a pick. Proctor's going to fire from three on the right wing. It's long, and Williams comes down with a rebound. All kinds of hands going after it for Newark Charter. Williams protects the ball, gets it out. Going the other way is Keister. He gets it knocked away, and they're going to say it's going to stay Caravel ball. Coming in for Newark Charter is, they did change it. Coming in is Ryan Stevens. He's going to take Reed Burkhart's place. And they did change it. The referee closer reversed the decision. They're going to say it's Newark Charter ball. So 24-24, 2:52 to play here in the first half. John Busby along with Marty Sheehan. Proctor has it. He comes up on the right side, gets it over to Lesher. Lesher back to Proctor at the top of the key. Stevens making his first appearance, has it on the right wing. Now he's looking for a pick. They get it over to Stevens. He's open for just a minute.
They're now playing a box and one on Perrin John.
And a little floater inside, and Proctor takes care of that, his fifth point of the night. And Newark Charter takes back the lead, 26-24, 2:24 to play. Sangbachan has it, goes between the legs. He's at the top of the key, trying to get around Proctor. He dishes over to Owens. Owens had 15 in the loss the other night. Sangbachan, a little over-the-shoulder pass to Tabanyan, drives in, puts it up with the left hand. It's good.
Tabanyan, a really nice job of adjusting in midair and avoiding the offensive foul.
Another tie, 26-26, our fifth tie of the night, as the ball goes flying out of bounds, and it's going to stay. Newark Charter ball went flying over the Caravel bench.
Looks like Caravel now, he's trying to get, we're trying to get into a box-and-one situation on the last possession against Parent John. They've now moved out of that and gone back to their man-to-man defense.
And they're playing man-to-man, but the two big guys aren't switching. Proctor drives down the middle, throws it up high off the backboard, brought rain down and went in. So Proctor gives Newark Charter a 28-26 lead, 1:42 to play. Sangbachan dribbling on the other side, a little floater inside, and he gets right back his 10th point of the night. Another tie, the 6th tie of the night. And quickly on the other side, Proctor's got it at the top of the key. He gets it over to the wide-open John, who is long off the backboard, but it goes right off the knee of Williams, and it's going to stay right here underneath Newark Charter ball.
John really struggling from the outside. He's done most of his damage from the inside. The guy you have to look for to get going as Nuwanaku checks back in now is Proctor. Proctor is their most proficient three-point shooter at about 40% on the season.
Nuwanaku in for Stevens. They have trouble getting it in, almost stolen by Sangbachan. Proctor comes away with it, and he's got it to get it over to John. He's going to fire again. This time it's nothing but the bottom of the net, so good shooters keep shooting, and a three-pointer makes it 31-28, and that is 11 points for John. That was Sangbachan, fires from the top of the key three. He misses. John comes down with it under a minute to play. Newark Charter up 31-28. They get it over to the quarter, and that's going to be a three-pointer. That is short by Callahan, and it's Williams who comes down with it with 50 seconds to play, and Caravel trailing by 3.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you Newark Charter, you wanted exactly that shot from Callahan. Maybe work it around a little bit more with time winding down in the first half.
And a pump fake by Nasuti on the left baseline goes around John, but they're going to call John for the reach, I believe, and that's going to put Caravel Academy on the foul line to shoot the 1-and-1. Still sorting out the foul here. We'll see who it's against. It is going to be on John, and that's his second foul, and as I said, the team's 7th. Lesher checks back in. Also for Newark Charter, Cooper's checking in, and Reed Burkhart.
Yeah, I like that they're getting John out of the game. You don't want him to pick up a cheapie this late. You know, one of the things that kind of the unsung stories of this game is John's effort on the defensive rebounds when Caravel is on offense. He's done a really nice job of limiting them to one shot as J.J. Nasuti knocks down the first end of the 1-and-1.
Nasuti now 2 of 3, pulls Caravel to within 2, 31-29. Keister came in for Justin Owens for the final 39 seconds. And second shot for Williams for Nasuti is up and good. So Nasuti with 3 points, all 3 from the foul line. It's 31-30, 30 seconds left to play. Proctor's got it. He'll be handling the ball with John on the bench, and a timeout, a 30-second timeout is going to be taken by Coach Joe Zhang of Newark Charter. Tonight's broadcast is presented by the United States Air Force. The U.S. Air Force wants you to know there's a new recruiter in your area. Tech Sergeant Andrew Bugg. His office is located on the riverfront in Wilmington. Stop by and find out about the exciting opportunities waiting for you in today's Air Force. Crown Trophy and People's Plaza is your one-stop shop for trophies, plaques, medals, and so much more. Crown Trophy is a proud supporter of the Fox Sports 1290 Game of the Week and home of the Delaware State Championship Trophy and Mini Trophy. Visit Crown Trophy in People's Plaza in Newark or online at crowntrophy.com. 27.3 seconds left. Newark Charter with the ball, a 31-30 lead here as getting set to inbounds is Brett Lesher, and he's going to get it back to Tim Cooper, who has checked in for Newark Charter. Proctor's in along with Burkhart and Brett Callahan. And they're going to call a 5-second violation. So Sangbachan, one of the best defenders, I think, in the state.
I agree. And Sangbachan did a fantastic job. He never got further than about 2 feet away. So when Cooper thought he was free, Sangbachan was still right behind him, resulting in the count continuing. A great defensive play by Brandon Sangbachan.
Sangbachan's got it on the offensive side now, gets it over to Keister. 8 seconds left to play. Keister looking for a pick. Goes right around that. Nasuti gets it at the top of the key, drives in, a little jumper from the right side off the back of the rim, no good, and Lesher comes down with it. The buzzer sounds, and so that brings us to the half here at Caravel Academy. Your halftime score, Newark Charter Patriots 31 and the Caravel Academy Buccaneers 30. Stay tuned for the halftime sports show with Earl Holland back in the studio, and then we'll be back to talk about this first half and get you set up for the second half of what should be a great third and fourth quarter. Once again, your halftime score, Newark Charter 31, Caravel Academy 30.
Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create. Contact Brian today. Mr. Italian began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Mr. Italian.
From helping you to lower your payments to discovering ways to help you save for your children's future.
From the needs of college students and first-time auto buyers, I promise to identify and take ownership of your needs.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
As a military...
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley, cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lois, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley, cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lois, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out.
The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroup.re.com. The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett. And
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvements' pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens and bathrooms. Want a professional no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust. Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company.
No matter where you are in life, at every stage, we are here for you, for all of life's big moments, and everything in between. After all, that's what families are for. We promise to make a positive difference in your financial life and go beyond the norm. Be a part of the Dover Federal family.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
To take a 1-point lead at halftime against one of the top 10 teams in the state. And I think the other side of the coin is Caravel has really struggled shooting the ball from the field. It's something that apparently with Keister out, they also struggled against Middletown, which was, even without Kevin Keister in the lineup, I think people had to expect Caravel would win that game. But Parent John is the real deal for this Newark Charter team. He has done a great job, as you said, poured in 12 points, but he also did a great job rebounding against some of the big trees down low for Caravel. Now, he did pick up his second foul late in that first half, so it'll be interesting to watch if that affects how he plays the game. But so far, I'm really impressed with the way Newark Charter has played.
Coming out to start the second half for Caravel, it's going to be Sangbachan, Owens, Tabanyan, J.J. Nasudi, and Keister, so the same starting five. Nuwanaku, Proctor, Lesher, Callahan, and John for Newark Charter. Caravel's going to have the ball. They inbounds it to Keister. Keister driving toward us, jump shot from about 8 feet, an air ball, so not a good shooting night for Keister, but he gets the ball off the ground while laying flat, throws it to the middle, but it's picked up by Proctor. He heads to the other side. Callahan has it in the corner, gets it back to John. Proctor has it at the top of the key, makes a move, and goes from the foul line. Jumper is good, so Khalil Proctor, his 9th point of the night, and Newark Charter with a 33-30 lead.
John, that is a lost start. Right then we saw Proctor give up a three-pointer to dribble up a couple steps, make it a little easier on himself, and hit the two-pointer. So a nice job by Proctor, again, finding any way to score. And
Sangbachan drives in, and his shot gets blocked, and John comes down with it for Newark Charter and heads in the other direction. 1 minute into this third quarter, Newark Charter with the ball in a 33-30 lead. Lusher fakes it over in the left corner, gets it back out front to Proctor. Nuwanaku has it at the foul line, and now a jumper by Callahan from the right corner is long, comes up on the near side, and rebounded by Tabanyan. Didn't even have to jump for that one. On the other side, Keister is going to fire from three from the right wing, no good. And coming down with it is Newark Charter. Proctor with the three on the other side. That's long. John comes down with it, and they're going to call a foul, and the foul is going to be on Kai Tabanyan. That'll be his second. Ball is on the floor, so it's going to stay Newark Charter ball.
And two things to point out, John. One is Kevin Keister's horrific shooting night continues. He has been really off. He's going to be subbed out here as Jeb Williams, the 6'9 junior, checks in. You can see the frustration on Keister's face. The other is John, again, doing yeoman's work down low for the rebounds.
And speaking of John, he drives in, kicks it back out. Callahan tries again from three, this time closer to the top of the key. It's long again. Sangbachan comes down with it. Nasudi's going to fire from three. He has yet to hit, and just when I say that, he nails a three. His first field goal of the night, his 6th point, and we've got our 7th tie of the night.
The reverse jinx there, you said it, Nasudi hadn't been out of luck all night long. That time Proctor throws up a three and misses for Newark Charter.
And Callahan comes down with it, gets it back out to Lesher. Keister's on the bench. He missed the game the other night because of an ankle. You have to wonder how much his ankle's bothering him because, as you said, he is not shooting his normal self here. Proctor gets it. He gets it over to Callahan. Ball stripped from behind by Nasudi. Tabanyan got it. He gets it up to Keister. Back to Nasudi. Goes for the dunk. Not even close. And all of a sudden, Proctor's going the other way. Nuwanaku has it, and he travels, and it's going to be a turnover. So Nasudi didn't look like he was even close to being high enough to dunk that ball.
And he also he tried to one-hand it, and he never secured the ball. It went kind of slapped at it as it fell out of his hand. Yeah, all around, that was not the best decision by Nasudi. He would have been much better off laying that over the front of the rim.
5:36 to play. We're tied up 33-33. 7th tie. Tabanyan with a turnaround jumper, and they're going to call him for traveling. Nice defense there by Lesher. Burkhart is going to check in for Newark Charter, and he's going to come in for Nuwanaku. Going to be Newark Charter's ball. Tie game, 5:32 to play.
And good defense for Newark Charter continues. As you said, Lesher did a nice job that time. John, Proctor, all of these guys, Callahan, they're doing a really nice job on the defensive end, trying to keep Caravel from the easy shots. We saw Nasudi miss a bunch of open three-pointers. He finally hit one, but all in all, a good defensive effort.
Callahan gets it under to John, who hits a cutting Proctor. Layup no good. Coming down with it is Williams. Sangbachan the other way. Nasudi's going to try another three. Same spot, nothing but the bottom of the net. So Nasudi, who struggled from long range in the first half, 2 for 2 from three from the left wing in the second half. And Caravel on top, 36-33. Burkhart's got it. He gets it over to Lesher. Pump fake. Proctor's going to fire from three. This one's long, barely ticked the rim. Williams comes down with it with a long rebound. Sangbachan across half court, whips it underneath to Williams, who pump fakes, and they're going to call him for traveling. Turnover, Caravel.
Boy, and that's one of those cases, again, where Brendan Sangbachan is just ahead of the game. Williams was not expecting that pass when he received it. It was a brilliant pinpoint pass inside. It forced Williams to have to adjust his feet. He ended up walking before turning around for the bucket.
Caravel with a 3-point lead. Steven checks in for Newark Charter. Proctor takes a seat. Callahan has it on the right side. He gets it to Stevens, who will engineer this team now. John drives on the right baseline in, puts it up with the left hand, no good. And they're going to call a foul. They're going to say it was on the floor We'll have the foul for you in just a second. It looks like it's going to be on Tabanian,
which is his third.
So 3 fouls for Tabanian. Keister is going to check in for him.
And with Tabanian out of the game, what you lose is some rebounding prowess and the ability to drive, as he's very proficient at both of those activities.
Inbound underneath their own basket. They whip it around. They get it over to Lesher. He drives right by Owens on the baseline. They get it into Callahan, and Callahan scores his 4th point of the night. It's 36-35. Caravel with the lead as we approach the halfway point of this third quarter.
Callahan, a great job cutting through the trees and making sure to go up with 2 hands, lay it over the front of the rim.
Keister has it coming at us, gets stripped away by John. Careless dribbling there by Keister. John puts it up off the front of the rim, gets his own rebound, puts it up, scores, and is fouled.
John, I think Parent John is really announcing himself to the state once they see this game on 302 Sports. He has got all kinds of star qualities. His ability to change his body position in midair is phenomenal, not to mention the fact he's getting rebounds on his own missed shots now in the second half, not just other people. So I think Parent John really announcing himself as one of the star players in this area.
14 points on the night. Foul shot is up and good for his 15th. He's 4 for 4 from the free throw line. It's 38-36. That was the 3rd foul on Brendan Sangbachan, so him and Tabanian have 3 fouls each. No foul trouble anywhere else. Sangbachan drives in, gets it to Keister on the right wing. He drives in, and he's going to get called for an offensive foul. Keister's first. Great defense there by Newark Charter School, and Keister not happy with the call, slams the ball down. Lucky he didn't pick up the technical.
And Keister was completely out of line there because of the foul. He went with a complete extension of his arm to create space for himself. We saw him do that earlier and not be called for it, so I'm thinking in his mind it was okay. Right. It was not.
Ball coming right at us on a kick there defensively. Sangbachan kicked it away, and it's going to stay Newark Charter ball.
The intensity for both these teams, John, is incredible for a game that last year was a blowout and a game that on paper looks like Caravel should win easily.
Newark Charter comes in at 13-6. Still needs probably a couple points to get into the state tournament. This would be a huge step in the right direction. Callahan gets all the way by the baseline, drives in, dishes it off to Burkhardt, who goes up with it, lays it in, and good.
Callahan, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Callahan went up and had nowhere to go with the ball, kind of floated it toward the middle. Fortunate for him that Reed Burkhardt was Johnny on the spot.
Sangbachan gets it underneath to Owens inside. Owens with a turnaround jumper in the paint, no good. Coming down with a rebound is Lesher. He gets it ahead to John. John tripped up, no call. John gets it back. Sangbachan stayed on the ground. John drives right by everybody and puts it in. So not sure what Sangbachan was thinking. But now it is 42-36, and Caravel is going to take a timeout. The biggest lead of the night for Newark Charter, 42-36. We're going to keep it right here. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local Union 313 and the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA, energizing Delaware. With their highly skilled electricians partnered with Signature Contractors, Local 313 electricians will safely get your job done right, on time, and within budget. Visit IBEW313.org. So a full timeout taken by Caravel Academy. That's their first. Marty, this is a great crowd on hand here. You know, it's not sold out. It's not wall-to-wall people in here, but there are at least a couple hundred people here on hand. As you would expect, Newark Charter is about 5 minutes from here. They've got a good fan base. They travel well, as you say. And, of course, Caravel Academy, they always tend, we've done football games, we've done basketball games. They always seem to have a good crowd on hand. The student sections, there's actually a student section for each school, which is impressive.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to point out, I am amazed at how many students are here, especially from the Newark Charter side. They sort of filled up the middle bleachers here at Caravel. But back to the game for a minute, Parent John, they just don't have Caravel doesn't have an answer for him defensively. No matter who they put on him, he's able to blow past some of the quick first step. When he gets into the lane and comes up against Williams or Nasuti or Owens, he's able to maneuver his body in the air and come up with bad foul there as Brendan Sepachan took a tumble. As I just extolling the virtues of Parent John, he makes a foolish foul.
Third, too.
Yeah, so Caravel, for those listening, Caravel rolled the ball out to midcourt for whatever reason, but John thought he could come up with a steal and ended up low-cutting Brandon Sepachan for the foul.
6-point lead for Newark Charter. Caravel also had a 6-point lead, but way back in the first quarter, Keister from three in the right baseline, no good. Lesher comes down with it, bounce pass over to Parent John. So Keister's trouble continues from long range. He comes in averaging 16.5 points a game, has just 4 points, both of them 2-point field goals. They get it over in the corner to Stevens. Stevens drives the lane on the left side, puts it up with the right, and gets his first 2 points of the night, and an 8-point lead, the largest for Newark Charter, 44-36. With 2:13 to play here in the third quarter. Nasuti trying from 3 in the same spot he's made 2. Misses this one. Lesher comes down with a rebound. And Marty, all the momentum is on the Newark Charter side as John drives in, dishes over to Burkhart. Burkhart shoots the 3, looking for the foul. Comes up short. Might have been blocked by Nasuti. Segbachan on the ground with the ball. And it looks like they are going to get Callahan with the foul. It'll be his first, the team's second.
For Newark Charter, if they play this smartly right now, Caravel, whenever Parent John has the ball for Newark Charter, all 5 Caravel's players have their eyes on John. And in that last possession, they took their eyes off of Stevens, who was able to maneuver along the baseline for the easy layup. So John may end up being a decoy at some point. He just did take a seat for Newark Charter, so it'll be interesting to see what happens when he's out of the game.
Proctor checked in for him as we're under 2 minutes. John with the 3 fouls. Joe Zhang probably wants to make sure he doesn't pick up his 4th. Nasuti drives on the right side, puts up a floater from about 10 feet on the baseline. No good. Proctor comes down with it, whips it ahead to Burkhart. Burkhart drives in, loses the ball out of bounds. So a situation here where Newark Charter trying to do a little bit too much too quickly with an 8-point lead.
That's just not something they do really proficiently. They're good at getting the ball out in transition, but they're more apt to set it up and find a shot on the outside or get it to John, who's not in the game right now. That time, as you said, a little bit out of control, not sure what to do.
Josh Morrow checks out. Semenchan drives in, and they're going to call. Are they going to call an offensive foul
Looks
or
like
a
they're going to
blocking
call that
foul?
on Stevens for the blocking foul, I believe.
So that'll be his first.
Yeah, you know what? The referee almost looked like he was about to grab the back of his head for the offensive foul. At the last second, changed his mind to a blocking foul there to send Sepachan to the line.
Segbachan will shoot 2, as Marty says. He leads his team with 10 points. Actually, he doesn't lead his team anymore. He led his team at the half with 10, has yet to score in the second half. If there's a negative to his game, it's from the charity stripe. He shoots just 41%, misses the first, so it's still an 8-point lead, the largest of the night for Newark Charter School, who came in with a 13-6 record, trying to pick up their 14th win in their final game of the season. Second shot is up and no good, and I think they're going to get to Banyan on a push-off, and if they do, that will be his 4th foul. So that's a big one for the Caravel senior, not the way he was hoping to go out on senior night. Not out yet, but coming out of the game because he picked up his 4th, and Owens is going to check in for him. So not a good foul underneath, pushing off from behind on that shot. Proctor's got it. 1:22 to go as they head away from us on the stage. They're in their red uniforms with the royal blue or black. It's hard to tell. I think they have black trim on their uniforms. But either way, ball goes out of bounds off of Segbachan. He's making his case, but he's not going to get it. Newark Charter has it. They dish it back to Proctor in the back court. Segbachan's covering him. Proctor goes behind his legs, goes over to the right, gets it to Lesher, double team. Nice job by Lesher getting rid of it. They work it all the way over to Stevens, who's going to fire from 3. Knocked down, no call. Segbachan comes down with it. He's got Owens ahead, tries to get it to him. It's tipped by Proctor, and then Owens goes up.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Stevens on a pull down. He kept Owens from going after the ball, kind of grabbed his shoulder a little bit and pulled him backwards. The referee was, unfortunately for them, right on top of that play. So the correct call is Ryan Stevens picks up his 2nd foul in about 30 seconds.
And he's going to check out. Tim Cooper, the junior, checks in for Newark Charter. Now they're going to say that Stevens has to come back in. I'm not sure why, because it's not a foul shooting situation. He's going back in. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe Cooper wasn't at the scorer's table like he needs to be. Either way, under a minute to play, 44-36. Newark Charter with the lead. Segbachan gets it into Nasuti. Nasuti at the top of the key, drives in, throws it up with his left hand. No good. The 2 big trees inside get it. That's Williams and Nasuti. Nasuti comes down with it, goes up with it, is fouled. I believe that foul is going to be on Callahan. Either way, Nasuti's going to go to the line and shoot 2.
And Nasuti did a really nice job there, continuing to battle. Callahan just not enough size to block Nasuti out from getting that rebound.
And so Nasuti, who's got 9 points on the night, is going to go to the line and shoot 2. A 48% free throw shooter knocks the first one down. So it's 44-37. Nuwanaku is going to check in for Callahan for Newark Charter for the final 51.3 seconds. So Nasuti now with his 10th point reaches double figures. He comes in averaging 9.6. Second free throw is up and good. So 44-38. Newark Charter with the ball and the lead. Almost stripped from behind by Sangbachan. 45 seconds to play. Proctor drives into the big trees and scores on the right side with his left hand.
Proctor, great job. He went face-to-face with Williams. Williams' arms went up. Proctor went right underneath of his left arm for the layup.
Keister drives and dishes it underneath to Williams, who goes up strong, and he's going to be fouled by Nuwanaku. That'll be his third. Williams is going to head to the line and shoot two.
And I think Nuwanaku is upset because he got all ball, but what he also got was body, which is what they're going to call on that to send Jeb Williams to the line, the 6'9 junior.
Williams, a 42% free throw shooter. First shot is up and no good. He's now 1 of 3 from the free throw line.
You know, if there's an Achilles heel going into the state tournament, John, it's overall, as we talked about earlier, this Caravel team shooting free throws. If they get into a match where it's free throw versus free throw down the stretch, they may find themselves in trouble.
Second shot is up and good. So 4th point on the night for Jeb Williams, who comes in averaging 5.9. It's 46-39. 26 seconds left to play. Proctor drives right down the middle, dishes off to Nuwanaku for the layup.
Proctor has done a fantastic job finding a seam in the 2-3 zone of Caravel at the last second. Dumped it off to Nuwanaku for the easy layup. So just perfectly proficient run offense here by Proctor and Newark Charter.
You can hear the defensive chant by the Newark crowd. Keister comes in, puts up a jump shot, no good in the lane. Nasuti comes down with it. It's blocked by Lesher. A second shot up, almost blocked, and that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter, and Newark Charter has its largest lead of the night. It's 9 points. They lead Caravel Academy 48-39. We'll be back with a fourth quarter and a potential upset right after this.
I love helping our airmen and their families with financial tools to help provide financial stability.
I promise to make a positive difference in your financial life, from helping you to lower your payments to discovering ways to help you save for your children's future.
From the needs of college students and first-time auto buyers, I promise to identify and take ownership of your needs.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
As a military wife, I love helping our airmen and their families with financial tools to help provide financial stability.
I promise to make a positive difference in your financial life, from helping you to lower your payments to discovering
313 and the National Electrical Contractors Association believe every connection matters, so they bring together the highest level of skill, training, and dedication to every job they do in the first state. Because to IBEW Local 313 and NECA, no connection matters more than the one they share with Delaware. IBEW Local 313 and NECA, we power Delaware.
This is the high school football game of the week, presented by the U.S. Air Force on Fox Sports 1290 and our iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back to Caravel Academy. Newark Charter looking for the upset here as they lead the number 5 Caravel Buccaneers 48-39. Newark Charter has the ball first and a traveling violation called on John, and so Caravel is going to get the ball back. All the momentum in Newark Charter's favor right now. A 9-point lead, their largest of the night. They trailed by 6 early in the first quarter, and there were 7 ties since then before Newark Charter pulled away in that third quarter. Tabanian, who's got 4 fouls, goes up with the left hand, misses the shot. Coming down with it is Lesher, and he gets it over to Perrin John, who crosses half court. He's guarded by Sangbachan. Proctor's going to fire from 3 in the right corner. It's off the back of the rim, comes down in the hands of John. He scoops it underneath, looking to try to get it underneath, and no good, and it comes out. Keister drives the other way, and could have been a goaltending there, but they called the foul on the floor, and that's why it's not, because Perrin John went up and smacked the backboard, which is an automatic goaltending, but they called it on the ground first, and they're going to call it on Perrin John, and I believe that's going to be, no, they're going to call it on Brett Lesher, which is his first.
And Caravel will now be in the 1-on-1 situation for the rest of the game, so it's really going to be interesting to see if they can turn something that's been a weakness throughout the season, their performance at the free throw line, to use it to climb back into this game. A 9-point deficit with 7:13 to go.
Good news is their leading free throw shooter, Kevin Keister, is on the line. He makes the first. He's a 75% free throw shooter. shooter. The team shoots just 52.7%.
And you know what, John? We've commented about Keister's rough shooting night. Sometimes shooters like Keister get on track by making a couple free throws as he sinks the second one there. So be curious to see if that results in him maybe being a little more confident from the field.
48-41. Speaking of confidence on the other side, Lesher makes it, shoots a jumper, misses it short, but it goes off the hands as Owens and Nasuti looked like they both had an easy rebound and rolled out of bounds. Brett Callahan's going to check in for Newark Charter. He's going to come in for Marvin Nuwanaku. He's on along with Burkhart and Proctor, John, and inbounding is Lesher for the Patriots. And Callahan has it in the right corner. He gets it into John, who gets it right back to Lesher. He goes up. It gets partially blocked by Caravel. Owens comes down with it, and it's Sangbachon driving right down the middle. Dishes off to Owens. Owens is going to fire from the right side about 15 feet. No good. Tabanya comes in with it. He gets it to Keister. Keister missed it by a mile from the three-pointer on the ring. He's just not firing on all cylinders. John on the other end drives in, and there's going to be a foul. He's going to go to the line and shoot two. So the man with 4 fouls gets fouled, and he's going to head to the line, and that foul is going to be on Kevin Keister, his second, maybe a frustration foul more than anything. That shot he just took, Marty, was about a foot off to the right.
Oh, I agree. We see him in pregame warm-ups, and we saw him against St. Mark's, just draining threes and pregame warm-ups. It's perfect. And then, as we said, he missed the game with the ankle injury. He just doesn't appear 100% tonight. As speaking of 100%, John continues his phenomenal night as he sinks the first one of 2.
5 of 5 from the free throw line is John. He comes in a 65% free throw shooter, so doing far better than his season average. Second shot is up and good. So he's got 19 points on the night. A 9-point lead matches their largest for Newark Charter, 50-41. Caravel Academy coming at us as we sit here on the stage. Sangbachon drives in, scoops it up. John's got to be careful, almost had a foul. Sangbachon gets a rebound, and he puts it up to Banyan with 2 points. That gives him 7 on the night, and it's 50-43.
That felt like a really big play from Tabanian as he out-rebounded 2 Newark Charter players to come up with that, put it back down, bring it back to a 7-point lead. They did not want to get this to double digits.
I got to correct myself. Parent John has just the 3 fouls, so he actually has 1 more to give. A steal. Proctor gets it. Keister picks it off, and Sangbachon lays it in for his first 2 points of the second half. It's a 50-45 game. Sangbachon now with 12 points, held scoreless until that point. 5:46 to play in the game. John goes by everybody, and they're going to call an offensive foul. It looked like an illegal pick there by Reed Burkhart. He's going to pick up his second as Sangbachon tried to get through it, and so it's going to be a turnover, and all of a sudden we've got a little bit of momentum shift. Marty, back to Caravel.
We do, and I give credit to Brendan Sangbachon there, because if he had not tried to fight through it, Burkhart wouldn't have moved his feet, which is why he got called for that moving pick.
Sabanya comes out, tries to set a pick. He does. Sangbachon uses it, gets it over to Keister. Keister continues to shoot. This one is in and out, no good. Sudi with the rebound. He puts it up, no good. John battling underneath, gets knocked down. Ball still being knocked around. Sangbachon comes up with it. He whips it over to Nasuti, who steps back, but he travels, trying to hit a step-back jumper behind the 3, and so it's a turnover to Newark Charter.
Lesson to the kids out there. Sometimes if you get the ball and you're in good position, don't worry about where your feet are. Just take the 3. That time, Nasuti realized he was only about 6 inches away from a 3-pointer, so he shuffled his feet. Unfortunately for him, the referee was only about 6 inches away from him when he did it, and he gets called for the loss.
Stevens checks in from Burkhart. He's in with Proctor, Lesher, John, and Callahan. For Caravel, it's Sangbachon, Tabanyan, Owens, Nasuti, and Keister. Stevens has it on the right baseline. He goes right around Nasuti, dishes it off to Callahan, who gets it stripped away by Owens. Caravel claiming it went off Newark Charter, but instead they're going to say it's Caravel ball.
Nasuti let it go, actually, because he was so sure that it went off a Newark Charter player, but referee thought otherwise, so missed opportunity there for Nasuti and Caravel.
John gets it into Lesher. He gets it over quickly to Stevens, who fires from 3. He barely hits the backboard, so not a good shot by Stevens. And Caravel comes down with it. Sangbachon has it. 5 minutes to play. Keister has it on the right side. He fakes out Stevens. Step back jumper. Still nothing for Keister there. Sangbachon gets the rebound, though. He scoops it up and underneath, and coming away with it is Lesher. So a couple misses in close by Caravel. John has it. He's being harassed there. Should have been a foul there on Sangbachon. Not sure what the ref saw there. He literally swatted at Newark Charter. They get the ball across half court and Joe Zhang is going to take a full timeout and try to calm things down here. Newark Charter with a 50-45 lead, 4:38 to play here in the fourth quarter. A big thanks to our partner NKN Films for their outstanding design on our 2019 basketball schedule poster. Check it out online at www.foxsports1290am.com and visit nknfilms.com for all your video needs. Introducing Domino's Hotspots. Get pizza delivered to outdoor locations like parks, beaches, and more. Not at home? Not a problem. Visit Domino's.com for details on Domino's Hotspot. So it was 48-39 at the end of the third quarter, and it now stands at 50-45. Caravel looked like they were getting back in it. A couple of turnovers, and all of a sudden, Newark Charter still was able to maintain that 5-point lead. It's getting very rough underneath for both teams. Definite height advantage for Caravel Academy, but the scrappiness of Newark Charter from top to bottom has kept them in this game and given them the lead here tonight.
It has, and right now we're in a situation where both teams are going to be in the one-on-one from this point forward. I like the fact that Newaniko and John, they've kind of been taking them in and out at different times, because with Newaniko not in the game, there's no height for Newark Charter, but John does a great job on rebounds down low. Right now, I agree. I like that timeout. The pace was getting crazy.
Newark Charter has it. They get it to Lesher. They get it underneath to Newaniko. He goes up strong, partially blocked by Nasudi, and then John is battling with it, and it goes out of bounds. It's going to be Caravel ball.
That was a really nice job by J.J. Nasudi of fighting through Newaniko and another Caravel defender, and I think we may have a technical foul on Mark Tobin here.
Or maybe a warning. Yeah, I think it's a warning. So the JV coach for Caravel got a warning. We saw that earlier, and I didn't know there was a warning. I thought coaches either got teed up or they didn't. But either way, nice job by the officiating crew here. And we got a traveling call on Keister. Proctor playing tough defense, and Keister looking around, but I thought it was a good call.
That's it. Proctor was doing a great job on Sempachan as well. And when Sempachan tried to come through, he was held up a little bit, which caused Keister to take a sort of a hesitation step.
Proctor goes right around Sengmachan, drives to the basket, puts it up with his left hand. Nasudi swatted it away. Sengmachan comes down with it, gets it over to Keister. Pump fake, drives in with the trees, puts it up as short, follows up, gets fouled. And we'll see who they're going to call it. It's going to be against Newark Charter, which is going to send Keister to the free throw line. If it's against John, he was in the vicinity, and it is. It's going to be his fourth foul. And so now he's got to really be careful on both sides of the floor. He just got teed up, so I believe he's
That's
gone.
His fifth foul. He's out of the game.
And if they do make the playoffs, he will not be allowed to play. So Perrin John with a huge mistakes here. Not only in a close game, he got hit with his fourth personal foul. It happened right in front of us. It was a good call. Keister got hammered on the follow-up, and then John must have said something. We don't know what it is, obviously, but either way, he is gone, I believe, for this night. They haven't taken him out
listed as a fifth foul. Yeah, they actually should not be shooting these
while he's on the floor.
With him in the game after he received his fifth personal foul, or fifth foul.
Keister makes both, so he's going to pull his team to within 50-47.
You know what? I want to correct one thing, because you and I were both on the wrong page on this. He wouldn't be suspended for the next game because that was only his first technical, but it does count as his fifth personal. So he would still be okay for a tournament game. That was both of us thinking the same thing. You get technical and you're thrown out, but it was his fifth personal. So he would be okay for the tournament.
Excellent point, Marty. Keister now taking the 2 shots, and that's why he was left in. He was left in.
You're right.
So anyway, so Keister now 6 for 6 after struggling from the field. It is a 1-point game.
And how big for Kevin Keister, John? He has struggled so mightily from the field, but man, has he come up big from the free throw line when they need it.
And that play he made underneath here, I mean, he missed the shot, got his own rebound. He was the smallest guy by a foot.
Yes, he was.
Underneath. Sengmachan gets it. Keister fires from 3 off the front of the rim. No good. Lesher comes down with it. His team up by 1. He gets it up to Proctor. Proctor drives in and scores.
Proctor, a great job in transition. They didn't let Caravel get set up. Keister was the only one back. Just not enough to stop Proctor from completing that.
Underneath, they get it to Devon, and he looked like he traveled. Instead, they're going to say he scored and was fouled, and so he's going to pull his team to within 1, 52-51, and head to the foul line and try to hit the old-fashioned 3.
Tabanian is one of those kids. He's so difficult to defend. He's a long-armed kid. He is really quick. a timeout being called here by Newark Charters. They want to get things back under control. But Tabanian, a great job. 2 big plays in a row, one from Keister, one from Tabanian to keep plays alive, and they're a point away from tying this up.
And the foul is on Brett Callahan. Both teams are, I should say, Caravel Academy is in the double bonus, and Newark Charter will be shooting 1-1 the rest of the way. We have 3:39 to play. Newark Charter led by as many as 9 coming into this quarter. It is now a 52-51. Their leading scorer, Perrin John, who was having a great night, got his 4th foul and then a technical foul and has fouled out of the game because of that. And he leaves with 19 points. Not only from a scoring standpoint were they missing Marty, but he was ferocious underneath on both ends of the floor.
He did a great job defensively. He did a great job rebounding. And as much as I sang his praises, he's got to be smarter than that in the future. You cannot let the emotions get the best of you, especially know the situation. You have a chance to pull a huge upset. You've got 4 fouls. You've got to keep yourself in check.
And he's clearly upset over there on the bench. This could be his last game. He's a senior. They have no more regular season games, and they are sitting on the fence come tournament time. Tabanian, the lefties, shot is up and good. So 5 points in the second half for the senior. He's got 10 on the night, and we have our 8th tie of the night, 52-52. And firing from 3, that's Tim Cooper, who checked in for John. He misses. There's a scrum on the floor. Owens has it, and they're going to call a jump ball. It looked like Owens was trying to twist around and call a timeout. And Mark Tobin came out onto the floor to call one.
I
don't think they're going to give it to him.
Yeah, wow, that's surprising that they didn't. They could have very well teed up Mark Tobin for that as well, for coming out on the floor to try to call that timeout.
Burkhart checks in for Marvin Nuwanaku for Newark Charter, so he's on the floor with Lesher and Cooper, along with Callahan and Proctor. Sangbachan's got it at the point. He's got Owens on the floor with him, Nasudi, Tabanian, and Keister. Sangbachan drives into the lane, floats one up, no good, gets his own rebound, tied up underneath. They're going to call a jump ball, and it's going to be a Newark Charter ball. Tim Cooper with the tie-up.
Tim Cooper has done a really nice job coming off the bench tonight. He's now going to be in there the majority of the way with John out of the game. So a great job coming up there strong against Sangbachan.
Pressure by Caravel Academy. Proctor takes care of that, drives the entire length of the floor, right down the middle, and Newark Charter back on top, 54-52, under 3 minutes to play. And Mark Tobin is going to call timeout. And I think the first thing he's going to ask his team, you can see him motioning, how can somebody go the entire length of the floor?
It's the second time in about 5 or 6 possessions where Proctor has taken the ball coast to coast and simply not found any resistance in the Caravel defense and able to go up and score. Now, it's one thing if he's against Sangbachan and he's trying to avoid getting a 4th foul, but he's been going up against some of the big guys who have simply kind of backed off a bit and allowed Proctor to get to the rim, and he's taken full advantage.
So 30-second timeout taken by Caravel Academy. At least that's what he motioned.
Yes.
He's got 3 timeouts left. So does Newark Charter. 2:48 to play. We've had 8 ties in this game. Caravel Academy, the number 5 team in the state. Both these teams are coming off of losses, one to Appoquinimink, the other to Middletown High School. Newark Charter on the fence as to whether they will be in the playoffs with right now a 13-6 record. Caravel Academy will be in. Question will be whether they get a first-round bye or not. Keister has the ball coming at us. 54-52. They're going to call a foul underneath, and that foul is going to be on Tim Cooper, and it's going to send Sangbachan to the line to shoot the double bonus. If you're going to send anybody on Caravel Academy to the line, he's the guy you want going there.
He is, and you know what? Unfortunately for Tim Cooper, Sangbachan is a very physical player. You can't engage him because he's very smart about the way he does it. He doesn't do it in a way where he picks up fouls, but if you're not smart enough and you push him back, you're going to get called for that foul. He does a really nice job of picking up fouls.
And he doesn't do a nice job from the free throw line. He's now 0 for 3. He shoots just 41%, and so that's the one area of his game that's well documented that he struggles in.
The amazing thing is, literally every other phase of the game, he is above average. It's just an area he struggles, and he does hit the second one, his first free throw of the night.
54-53. Ryan Stevens checked in Lesher has it for Newark Charter. He gets it across half court to Callahan. A nice pass underneath to Burkhardt, who goes in strong, misses the shot. Nasudi comes down with a rebound. So Caravel's got it, 2:30 to play. They trail by 1, 54-53. Sangbachan's got it on the right lane, being guarded by Proctor. He looks like he's going to try to take him to the hoop. Callahan comes over to help. The ball gets tipped away, and it's going to be out of bounds. A bad pass from Sangbachan to Tabanyan. And so it's going to be Newark Charter ball. Checking in is Tim Cooper, and checking out is Ryan Stevens. So it looks like those two are going to shuttle in and out, offensive and defense, as you can hear the Newark Charter crowd.
And John, it is a really small roster in there for Newark Charter right now.
Lesher drives in, whips it underneath to Callahan for 2. A great pass, catch, and shoot. 56-53. Keister on the other side, an air ball from 3. Burkhardt comes down with it. Keister just having an off night in all phases of his shooting other than from the free throw line. Lesher has it underneath, decides to come back out when he meets Owens. Now he puts it up. Nasudi knocks it away into the hands of Sangbachan, who comes with a nice bounce pass to Keister, who lays it in.
A really great give and go there with Sangbachan and Keister. Keister finding the spot, the seam in the defense. Sangbachan putting a perfect pass on him for the layup. Boy, really frenetic back and forth action right here. The one area where Newark Charter is going to struggle is in the area of rebounding in this last 1 minute, 41 seconds. The lineup they have on the floor without Nwaniku and John out there is extremely small. Jeb Williams, Justin Nasudi, JJ Nasudi, excuse me. They're going to find a lot of open spaces underneath. I'm curious to see if Caravel tries to take advantage of that, only down 1.
Timeout was by Caravel Academy, a full timeout. They've got 2 left, a full and a 30 according to my stats. 2 fulls and a 30 left for Newark Charter. Following tonight's game, stay tuned for the American Spirit Federal Credit Union post-game show. We'll recap all the action and final statistics and announce our Crown Trophy player of the game. It's the American Spirit Federal Credit Union post-game show just minutes after the final horn sounds. Marty, your thoughts on the final 141 here. What's Caravel got to do to get the lead back? What's Newark Charter got to do to keep it?
Caravel has simply got to play their game, which is move the ball around the perimeter, look for the bigger guys inside. They have JJ Nasudi, they have the Owens in there, they have Tabanyan. They have a huge height advantage down low and leaping advantage. For Newark Charter, they've got to be smart. They've got to come up with good shots. They can't force anything. If possible, try to get the ball to the rim.
Oh, and just like when you say that, Cooper throws it away over the head of Lesher. Not a good pass, and there's no way Lesher, as athletic as he is, could come down with it. Lesher's on the floor with Burkhardt, Callahan, Cooper, and Proctor. Tabanyan, Keister, Sangbachan, Nasudi, and Owens on the floor for Caravel. Nasudi knocks the man over, puts it up, misses the shot, trips over the man he knocked over. That was Lesher. And then we got a foul, which is going to send Callahan to the line on the other side. Happened right in front of us. A lot of bodies flying around. It's going to end up in a couple shots for Callahan.
And JJ Nasudi, a real missed opportunity. He actually decided to take that shot from about 6-7 feet away, although there was no one in front of him. He had room to move up and either lay that in or, in his case, maybe go for a dunk. He chose to take the short little jumper, missed it, and then we had the scrum for the ball resulting in a foul and Callahan going to the line. Callahan's a kid, by the way, who's done a really nice job as Jeff Williams checks in for Tabanyan for Caravel.
Tabanyan has fouled out. That's why he's checking in. So Tabanyan has fouled out. So a big loss. The 6'2 senior playing his final game here at Caravel. Their next 2 games are away. Nwaniku checks in for Reed Burkhardt for Newark Charter. Brett Callahan, a 67% free throw shooter, hits his first, and that's his 7th point of the night to extend Newark Charter's lead to 57-55. Callahan getting ready to make his second. Shot is up and good. So 58-55. Newark Charter looking for the upset here over the number 5 Buccaneers. 1:15 to play. Keiser continues to shoot. This one short from the left corner. Nasudi gets the rebound. His lay-in is no good. Owens comes down with it, and they're going to call a foul. Looked like it could have been a jump ball. That's what Tim Cooper is saying, but instead Owens is going to go to the free throw line. So the foul is on Tim Cooper. That will be his 3rd, and Owens is going to get 2 shots. I think they called it on the floor, but he is in the double bonus either way. So Justin Owens, who had 5 first-half points, held scoreless in the 3rd quarter, looking to score his first 2 here in the 2nd half. Shot is short and right, so Owens only a 50% free throw shooter. So he struggles from the free throw line as well, as does this entire Caravel team, as we've talked about. Owen's second shot is up, and this one is nothing but the bottom of the net. So 58 to 56, and we've got a 30-second timeout. And I'm trying to wait to see who took that timeout.
It was Mark Tobin and Caravel that took the timeout.
All right, so Mark Tobin now has just the one full timeout left. 1:07 to play. It's going to be Newark Charter's ball coming out of the timeout. Marty, I would expect Caravel to put on some sort of press, whether it's a press they're literally trying to steal the ball, or more press maybe hoping that, as happened the last time, Newark Charter will throw the ball into the stands and Caravel will get it back.
Newark Charter throughout the season has struggled at times against pressure defense. You also wonder, too, Newark Charter really hasn't been in a game like this with a quality opponent. Caravel has been in these situations, but you sort of wonder who the nerves favor which team here, which team is able to keep themselves calm and collected for the last 1:07.
Lesher will inbounds. They let him get it in. He gets it to Cooper. He and Lesher play catch. They get it across to Proctor. Proctor gets it over into the corner to Callahan. Of course, Newark Charter does not have to shoot. They've got a 2-point lead. 56 seconds left to play. Proctor has it. Nasuti reaches, and there's going to be a foul. I don't think that's going to be on Nasuti, but either way, Proctor is going to head to the free throw line.
And I like the way that Proctor was determined that he was going to be the one to go to the free throw line. He didn't give that up, kind of weaved his way in and out of traffic into the Caravel lane, forcing the foul. It got to the point where I think Caravel was thinking he may actually go up for a layup here at some point, so they had to foul him as there was no one between him and the basket.
Foul was on Owens, his third. Proctor will head to the line and shoot the 1-and-1. He has not shot a free throw tonight, has 15 points. First shot is up, rolls around, and is no good. So with 50 seconds left, Caravel's got it. Sengmachan drives, it's all the way to the basket, lays it up and good, tied up.
Sempachan found no resistance, worked his way around the right side of the defense. No one stopped him at the baseline. He goes up for the easy two. That is a classic Brendan Sengmachan play. They need it. He provides it.
And so it's former Elkton coach Joe Zhang is going to take a full timeout for Newark Charter. His team coming out of the timeout will have 36 seconds left to play. We have a tie ball game, 58 to 58. We've had 9 ties now in this game. So, Marty, what came in on paper as what looked like it may not be a close game, you got a number 5 team in Caravel Academy, a team that you and I think belongs in that top 5, playing against a Newark Charter team that, despite its 13-6 record, you know, they haven't played the best opponents in the state of Delaware. When you look at the teams that they played, a lot of them will not be in the playoffs. They've won a lot of games. 13 games is a lot to win, but they're on the fence come playoff time with a 13-6 record. You know, whereas a team like Sally's, the year they won the state championship, the second time got in with a 10-10 record. And I think they might have had a first-round bye. I can't remember. I could be wrong on that. But either way, my point being that not many people thought this game would be as close as it is, let alone tied with 36 seconds to go.
No, not at all. And if this were an NCAA tournament situation, we'd be making the case for Newark Charter tomorrow after this game.
That's right.
And if you're listening to us on the radio, if you get a chance, check out the 302 broadcast of this game. This Newark Charter team is a fun team to watch, and this has just been a phenomenal game.
Both these teams athletic, both these teams scrappy, both teams struggling from the three-point line tonight, but still they made up for it with their scrappiness. Newark Charter is going to hold the ball for the last shot, try to win it all, and head home down the road. 17 seconds left to play. Tim Cooper's got it. I would think they're going to try to set Lesher up or Proctor, and sure enough, Cooper starts moving. Cooper has not scored yet. I don't think he's taken a shot yet tonight. 5 seconds left. He gets it over to Burkhart, fires from 3, and he's fouled by Keister. And so Burkhart, with 3.3 seconds left to play, is going to head to the foul line and shoot 3 to try to give his team the lead.
Amazing. And for Kevin Keister, the nightmare that has been this game continues. Unfortunately, he's a kid who's a phenomenal player. He's done a great job all year for Caravel. Again, coming off an ankle injury, he's really struggled, but not a good foul. As unfortunately, Reed Burkhart, the king of drama here, apparently misses the first.
Other than Nuwanaku, Burkhart is the least efficient free throw shooter on this team, making just 50%. Misses the first, still has 2 left. Only really needs to make 1. This one's off the back of the rim at the exact same spot. Nuwanaku is going to check in, and it looks like he is checking in for Cooper. Lesher was pulled away from the lane. That was where the confusion was on the Newark Charter side. So with 3.3 seconds left to play, and Mark Tobin's complaining about the substitution.
Well, there were 6 players on the floor when the referee started to give the ball back to Burkhart, but referee using better judgment said there was nothing intended there. They just hadn't gotten it off yet.
And Burkhart's final attempt is up and no good. The ball gets tipped around. Nwanaku comes down with it. And a full court shot coming right at us. That's why I hesitated there. That was by Nasuti from half court. Literally went over the backboard, almost right at us, and is no good. The horn sounds, and Marty, we're heading to overtime.
And in the craziest way possible. I mean, Reek Burkhart, who, again, a 50% free throw shooter, you're expecting him to make at least one of those. He goes 0 for 3 from the line, breathed new life into Caravel as we'll play a 4-minute overtime. You have to wonder from a psychological standpoint now for Newark Charter and Coach Joe Zhang, how much does that deflate you when you send one of your better players overall to the free throw line? You're not able to seal the win. Now all of a sudden you got to pull on the bootstraps and come back out here for another 4 minutes against one of the top 5 teams in the state.
In their gymnasium, not one person has left. The student sections here are going strong. It's been a great game. They're loud. It's been an exciting game. The only people that have left the gym now have been to go to the bathroom because they thought they were going to be able to go earlier, and they didn't. So Caravel's going to come out with Williams and Nasuti, Keister, Sangbachan, and Owens. It's going to be Lesher and Cooper, along with Proctor, Callahan, and Burkhart, who just missed the 3 free throws with 3.3 seconds left to play. That most likely would have sealed the victory, and he is back out as well. They're going to re-jump, and it's going to be Nasuti and Lesher. Remember, if you're just tuning in, the best player on Newark Charter, at least the leading scorer, Parent John, fouled out when he picked up his 4th foul, and then a technical foul immediately afterwards for mouthing off to the ref.
And you know what? Interesting, John. Brendan Sepachan has played with 4 fouls for a long time. So credit to him for managing the way he plays to make sure he's still contributing while staying in the game.
And he has still played very
aggressively.
Yes. Thank you. You took the word right out of my mouth that I was looking for. And just as I say that, Newark Charter comes away with the jump ball despite Sangbachan going after it. They whip it around. Callahan has it on the left side. He's being guarded by Nasuti. Cooper comes over to get it. They get it over to Proctor. Proctor, the junior, trying to get inside, dishes off. It's swatted away by Sangbachan when Lesher went up for the layup. Sangbachan comes away with it, goes behind the back at half court, whips it over to Keister. Keister fires, still misses. Follow-up by Nasuti, no good. And we're going to have a jump ball underneath as Williams and Cooper got tied up. It's going to be Caravel ball right in front of us.
And Keister needs to make sure that he's staying in the game. When he missed that shot, he immediately turned around and kind of kicked at the floor. He's got to keep in mind there's still a lot he can do to affect the outcome of this game for Caravel.
Sangbachan inbounds right in front of us to the left of the basket to Owens, and Cooper rips the ball away from Owens, and they're going to call a foul on Owens. It's going to be his 4th.
And a technical foul on Owens.
And he just fouled out on a technical foul. So we've had 2 players, both seniors, Owens is a junior, who have fouled out of this game for mouthing off to the ref to getting technicals. Not often you see that in a high school game.
It's not. You really don't. And you really don't against, Caravel. Mark Topin's team has always been a classy team. I mean, they play very aggressively, I'll say that, but it's never in a dirty fashion. And, it's unfortunate here that we've seen 2 of the better players, in Parent John and Justin Owens, both commit their 5th personal fouls by picking up a technical foul.
And so not only is it going to be 4 free throws, 2 for the technical, 2 for the double bonus on the foul, but now they are playing, Caravel that is, without Owens. So 2 of the better players on each team out of the game because of the technical foul.
Not only is it 4 free throws, but it will also be Newark Charter possession because of the technical foul.
And Cooper misses the first. He is shooting the double bonus. And then I believe it's going to be Lesher, who is the leading free throw shooter at 81%, who will step up to hit the technicals. And then, as you pointed out, Marty, it will be Newark Charter ball. Second shot is up and good. So good news for Caravel. It's only going to cost them at the most two points at this juncture.
John, I think that was an optical illusion. I think he missed it. I think it went over the front of the rim on its way back down. They have not given anything.
Oh, no, he did miss it. I'm sorry. If I said he made it.
Okay,
if I said he made it, no, he definitely missed it. And Lesher made it.
As you said, the 81% free throw shooter comes in and hits the first technical, misses the second.
So a 1
John,
point lead.
By my count, they are one of their last 7 free throws. Newark Charter is counting the 3 they missed at the end of regulation.
That is correct.
They just missed 3 of the 4 in that situation. So 6 points left on the board for Newark Charter in a game they could have won in regulation.
And it's 59-58. They lead by 1. 3:15 to go. It is their ball because of the technical foul. Proctor has it. He gets it over to Caldwell, who's going to fire from 3. Sorry, that was Callahan. And he misses it, and it comes down into the hand of Keister. Sangbachan drives right down the middle. Should be a charge. It is. Great defense there by Brett Callahan. Sangbachan's hurt. He came down hard on his elbow. He picks up
his 5th foul.
Is it his 5th foul?
I believe that's it for him. Oh, I'm mistaken.
Foul.
I
had him
apologize.
for 4.
Okay,
Yeah,
I had him. I must have given one incorrectly to him. Yeah, again, we talked about still playing incredibly aggressively. That time, a little too much so. He went in. It's one of those cases, you and I have talked about this a lot over the years. If you go in out of control, regardless of what the defense is doing, more likely than not, you're going to pick up the offensive foul.
And as I point to the sweat right here in front of us, the referee comes over and points, and somebody runs out with a towel. Lesher is going to inbounds. He's on the floor with Callahan. Stevens has just checked in for Cooper. Proctor is in, along with Reed Burkhart. Sangbachan in with Williams, Keister, and Morrow has checked in for Caravel. He saw a couple minutes of action earlier. He looks like he's in to chase the ball. Nasudi in as well, and that's Williams playing in the back. A 2-3 pressure zone here, trying to force Proctor to turn it over. He drives right down the middle, dishes it out, and a jumper by Stevens, maybe ill-advised from 3, no good, but it's Callahan, fights for the rebound. A 3-pointer is short by Proctor. Coming away with it is Sangbachan. He gets it ahead to Keister, who lays it in with his left hand, and good.
John, I said Keister's got to keep his head in the game, and that's exactly why. A great job of running the floor, getting behind the Newark Charter defense, and setting himself up for the layup.
Probably 2 ill-advised shots, I would think, by Newark Charter.
I agree, 100%.
Underneath, going up strong is Burkhart. It gets swatted away by Nasudi, but it's going to stay Newark Charter ball. So a lot of emotion and a lot of cheering, but it's still going to be Newark Charter ball.
I think we're seeing the relative inexperience of Newark Charter, John. You pointed out with the 2 ill-advised shots, we've seen some unforced errors. Looks like maybe the pressure getting to them just a bit.
Oh, and they called a foul on Keister. I didn't think he made contact at all.
No, that was a bailout foul for Newark Charter. It looked like Stevens completely lost his balance as he went up to retrieve a pass, and as Keister moved forward, his proximity resulted in the referee calling the foul on Keister, but I agree, it did not look like a foul from our vantage point.
Now, in defense of the ref, from his vantage point, it would have looked like a foul because he was screened by Cooper's or Stevens' body. Stevens makes the first of 2, a 72% free throw shooter, and he ties this game up. We've now had 10 ties in this ball game. Second shot is up and on the back of the rim hard, no good, but Newark Charter comes down with it. They get it back out to Lesher. That was Burkhart who comes down with it, so a big rebound, and Joe Zhang is going to take timeout. He's going to take a 30, which leaves him with 1. I'm not sure, do they get an extra timeout in the overtime in high school basketball?
I believe they get an extra 30 in overtime.
Extra 30, right. And so this, I think, actually is the first overtime game we've ever done in high school basketball that I've ever done. I've been doing this for 11 years, and I believe it is the first time that we've ever had an overtime basketball game. And 60-60 is the 10th tie we've had. 2:18 to play here at Caravel Academy. Again, if you're just tuning in, Caravel Academy is shoe-in for the playoffs. A question of where they will be seated. Of course, a win tonight would help give them an advantage maybe for one of those first-round byes. Newark Charter on the fence. A win would give them a little nudge over the fence, but not sure if it would give them the nudge they need all the way over. Newark Charter's season ends tonight. Caravel Academy still has 2 games left as they will head to Delaware Military Academy on Saturday and down the street to Hodson-Bo Tech, one of their big rivals, on Tuesday, the day before the last day of the regular season. 2:13 to play. Newark Charter with the ball. Tim Cooper has checked back in for Stevens as they've been shuttling in and out. Proctor has it, almost loses it, keeps his dribble alive, gets it over to Callahan in the corner. And it looks like they are playing, I don't know if they're playing for the last shot again. 2 minutes is a lot of time to kill.
Yes, it is.
But I'm sure they've been told by Joe Zhang we don't need to be taking any more 3-pointers as Cooper knocks it off of Sangbachan's foot. It's going to stay Newark Charter ball. They'll be inbounding it right in front of their own bench on the other side of the court. We're on the stage here at Caravel Academy, so we're on the shooting side of where Caravel is shooting. So Newark Charter on the other end. Lesher has it. He's being guarded. He lobs it into Burkhart. They get it back out to Cooper. Cooper over to Lesher, into the corner to Proctor. Proctor drives right by Nasuti, puts it up. Reverse layup, left hand, no good. Tap in, no good. Coming down with it is Burkhart. He puts it up, no good. Williams comes away with it. Sangbachon gets it ahead to Keister, and it goes right through his hand. Kevin Keister having a tough night.
Sometimes
shooting.
It's just not your night, John, and Keister has really struggled. Again, a great player. He'll be fine. But, yeah, just one of those nights where everything seems like it goes against you.
And he's 6 for 6 from the free throw line. Does have 4 points in the second half for 14 on the night, just a couple shy of his average. But he has struggled from the field from three-point range. And the exact same kind of turnover now with Newark Charter as Lesher turned and tossed it to Tim Cooper. Went right out of his hands, off his shoulder, and out of bounds.
And it feels like in both cases it was the same thing. They both were turning their heads to look for something, to make something happen before they secured the pass. So unfortunate turn of events for both teams. 1
minute to play. 60-60. Caravel Academy has taken another timeout, and I believe they still have one left. 1:01 to play. 60-60. Don't forget, following tonight's game, stay tuned for the American Spirit Federal Credit Union post-game show. We'll recap all the action and final stats, announce our Crown Trophy player of the game, and get you set up for what will be our final regular season broadcast next week. Special Olympics Delaware is always looking for qualified coaches or former players wanting to coach. Spring sports are just around the corner, and coaches are needed in the sports of softball, swimming, track and field, bocce, tennis, and powerlifting. It takes just 2 hours a week for 8 weeks to make a difference. For more information, visit SODE.org. One of the points I was going to make, Marty, when the ball went through Keister's hands and I said he's had a rough night shooting, I was going to continue and say that in every other phase of the game, he's managed to forget that he's had a bad night shooting. He's 6 for 6 from the free throw line. He plays scrappy defense. He's had some steals, a bunch of assists. That was the first time where you thought to yourself, boy, that's another thing he's done wrong tonight, because he hasn't done much other else wrong.
No, he really hasn't. I mean, it's been one of those nights where he's just not been able to hit anything for the field, but he's kept his head in the game and contributed in other ways. You're right. That's the first really unforced error where he just kind of lost control of where he was. But, you know, both teams, I think, have done a really nice job playing heady ball. There's been a couple bad decisions by Newark Charter, one in the end of regulation, one in overtime, maybe cost them. But overall, a very well-played game.
Caravel inbounds, 55 seconds left to play. Sangbachon's got it. He's being guarded by Cooper. They get it over into the corner to Morrow. Morrow been on the floor, hasn't played much tonight, got in the first half for a couple minutes. Sangbachon has it. He whips it across court to Keister. He gets it down to Nasuti. Nasuti, a wide open baseline jumper, but chooses not to take it. Gets it back out to Sangbachon, and he whips it over to Morrow. Nice feed inside by Morrow to Williams. And Williams turned around and looked like he was one step away from a dunk.
They must have been instructed to hold for the last shot, because you're right, Williams had no one behind him, but he never even looked at the basket.
And now Williams gets it in the corner, almost steps out of bounds. He gets it to Sangbachon and whips it back to Keister. Keister with a fallback jumper from the foul line is good.
How fitting for Kevin Keister to come up with a huge shot, a fall-away jumper in the lane with 10.2 remaining. And boy, oh boy, I got to tell you, it not only is that a great shot, it takes guts when you've had the night he had to take that shot, take the chance on missing. So Kevin Keister, again, proving invaluable to this Caravel team.
The 5'10 junior held to 4 points in the first half, scoreless in the third quarter, had 6 points off of 2-pointers in the fourth quarter, along with going 6 for 6 from the free throw line. And as you said, that's a shooter when he's had to have missed 10 shots tonight.
Easy.
And then when the game on the line with 10 seconds left, not only the confidence of his teammates to get him the ball, but that was a step back, fall away jumper from the free throw line. It wasn't a clean
That was not easy.
It bounced around a couple times, but as they call it, he had the shooter's touch.
And his reaction when it went through was great. Turned around, pumped his fist a couple times. I mean, that was a lot of frustration coming out in that shot. So hats off to Kevin Keister for staying strong throughout this rough night overall.
10.2 seconds left. Newark Charter's going to inbounds right in front of us. Caravel putting on some token pressure. Morrow's at the front of that. Sangbachon and Keister in the second line. Williams, the 6'9", is back underneath the basket along with Nasuti. And Cooper drives in and gets fouled, and he's going to head to the line and shoot two. Wedged himself between two defenders. The foul is going to be on Josh Morrow, his first. And heading to the line is going to be Tim Cooper, who was 0 for 2 when he had those 2 shots right before the technical foul.
And I love the aggressiveness, though, of Cooper. He saw a seam in the defense and decided to just go for it. Morrow was able to stick his foot in there a little bit, not on purpose to trip him, but enough to keep him from getting to the basket, and it pays off as Cooper misses the front end of the first of the 2 shots.
Misses to the left, so Nuwanaku is going to check in. He checks in for Burkhart.
Again, I'm sorry, by my count again, that's one of their last 8 free throws for Newark Charter in this game, regulation and overtime.
Yep, that is true. Late in the game, which could have sealed the game. Second shot is up, and that one is good. So Cooper now 1 for 4, 62 to 61, and they're going to have to foul, and they do. So if you're going to play against a team and foul, Caravel Academy is not a good free throw shooting team, just 52.7%. They send Jeb Williams, who is a 42% free throw shooter. He is 2 of 4 on the night, and he's got his team up 1, 62 to 61. We'll see if he's able to convert. First shot is up, and nothing but the bottom of the net.
Wow, that is just ice water in the veins there for Jeb Williams, the 6'9" junior. Perfect form, and as you said, nothing but the bottom of the net with the splash there.
Second shot up, and this one is no good. Comes off, and it's Nasuti with the rebound, and they've got to foul him, and they do. It's Callahan that fouls, and it'll be his 4th, which is really irrelevant at this point, and Nasuti is going to go to the foul line, and if he makes both, this game's over.
It is. It's unfortunate, but that was one of the few times where the Caravel chant now doing the goodbye chant to Newark Charter. Let's get a little taste of that for a minute. The fans have really been phenomenal tonight. It has been a really fun game to be a part of as J.J. Nasuti tries to close this out for the Bucks.
And shot is up and is good. So Nasuti, a 48% free throw shooter. He's actually shot pretty well tonight. That's his 6th shot he's made out of 7. And Nuwanaku heads out. It looks like Burkhart checked back in. And it'll all be irrelevant if Nasuti makes this shot, and he does. So J.J. Nasuti has just iced it as Lesher lets it fly from 3-point range. Almost goes in. Wouldn't have mattered. And after a phenomenal game by both these teams in overtime, Caravel Academy has come away with a 65-61 victory. When we come back, it's the American Spirit Federal Credit Union post-game show. What a great one we had here at Caravel Academy. We'll be back to talk about it right after this. Once again, your final score, Caravel 65, Newark Charter 61.
Opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique image, you envision, we create.
Where you are in life, at every stage, we are here for you, for all of life's big moments, and everything in between. After all, that's what families are for. We promise to make a positive difference in your financial life and go beyond the norm. Be a part of the Dover Federal family.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
Laundry, it makes you want to say, well, don't say it. Instead, say, hey, pup, let's go for a ride to the Concord Pet Store on Concord Pike. Or in Westchester, Concord Pet's bath is for dogs. 10 minutes for $10. And it's easier and less mess than doing it at home. There's a dryer there, too, but make sure to bring some towels as well. 10 minutes of scrubbing, $10. It's so inexpensive you can buy them a treat afterwards. Visit the Concord Pet Westchester and 202 stores.
Welcome to the American Spirit Federal Credit Union postgame show. Ask for free Casaza checking at American Spirit in Newark, Middletown, and Dover.
Welcome back to Caravel Academy. A packed house here. Sure saw a good one. It took overtime for the Caravel Academy Bucks to win it 65-61 over Newark Charter School. Caravel moves its record to 13-5. They still have 2 games left. Newark Charter season ends, its regular season ends at 13-7. Now they will have to wait to see if those 13 wins is going to be enough to get them into the state tournament. Just a phenomenal game here from start to finish. Caravel Academy led by 6 early on, and then it was mostly Newark Charter after that till the third quarter when it was 31-30, a 1-point lead for Newark Charter. And then they pulled away and led by as many as 9. There were 10 ties in this game. One of the key stats, Marty, as you kept pointing out, Newark Charter 1 of 8 from the free throw line down the stretch in the fourth quarter and in overtime. Certainly didn't help them. Caravel was led by Kevin Keister, who struggled the entire game from outside and ended up hitting what you would call the game-winning shot with about 10 seconds left. He finished with 16 points. Brandon Sangbachan, who was everywhere on the floor as he always did, had 15. J.J. Nasuti with 13, including the 2 free throws that sealed it. 10 points for Kai Tabanyan before he fouled out. 6 points for Justin Owens, 5 for Jeb Williams. Newark Charter was led by Perrin John, who had 19 before he fouled out, picking up his 4th foul, and then a technical foul early in the fourth quarter. So that certainly played a role in Caravel's ability to come back. 15 points for Khalil Proctor, 8 points for Brett Callahan, 5 points for Lesher, Reed Burkhart, and Marvin Nuwanaku. 3 points for Ryan Stevens and 1 point for Tim Cooper, that foul shot at the end. So Marty, a lot to talk about here, but we're going to keep it brief because we've been on the air so long. In summary, you know, this was a great game for both teams. If Newark Charter's season ends today, boy, did it end with a great effort on which they can build heading into the offseason.
It really did. I mean, their effort tonight was phenomenal. They came into this game against a team that on paper is probably 20, 25 points better than they are, which is about what the margin was last season. Newark Charter didn't care about that. They are one of the toughest, scrappiest, tough as nails type team, hard-nosed, all those cliches that you want to use. They fight and scrap and claw their way to find buckets. They do it using a bunch of different players. Perrin John, in my opinion, is a potential superstar. We just kind of were turned on him. This was potentially his last game ever at Newark Charter. But, in the end, the 1 of 8 of free throws down the stretch in the fourth quarter and overtime really hurt them. And then Caravel, I think the experience took over. The guys who've been in this situation, Brandon Sangbachan, a great job. Kevin Keister, who stayed strong through a horrific shooting night. J.J. Nasuti coming up with the clutch 2 free throws at the end to seal it. I think Mark Tobin, it's one of those games, again, where he can be really proud of the effort of his team. Still admit that there were tons of mistakes that they made, a lot of things they should have done differently. But the heart and soul of the team came through and got the win here at the very end.
And so that is it. Once again, your final score, Caravel Academy 65, Newark Charter School 61. It's now time to announce our Crown Trophy player of the game. Crown Trophy in People's Plaza is your one-stop shop for trophies, plaques, medals, and so much more. Crown Trophy is a proud supporter of the Fox Sports 1290 Game of the Week and home of the Delaware State Championship Trophy and mini trophies. Visit Crown Trophy in People's Plaza in Newark or online at crowntrophy.com. Marty, I'm glad this isn't my job tonight. Really could pick guys on either side, win or lose. The floor is yours.
That's right. I'm going to stay with our tradition of giving it to a member of the winning team. First of all, for Newark Charter, Perrin John, phenomenal job. Proctor was great. Brett Lesher, I thought, did a great job. Reed Burkhart worked hard. Marvin Nuwanaku was inside. But you know what? I'm kind of a fan of the underdog. And I got to tell you, the guy who struggled all night long, but who continued to do other things to help his team. He never missed from the free throw line. He worked hard for assists. He ran the floor with reckless abandon. He ended up with 16 points. I'm going to go with Kevin Keister. I know it may not be popular. He struggled from the field, but I really thought it's not all about who scores all the points and how they get them. He still managed to come through when his team needed it. He kept his head in the game, came up with a huge shot. So for that reason, Kevin Keister, the 5'10 junior from Caravel, is our Crown Trophy player of the game.
I will say, if it was my job to pick it, that would have been my selection as well, because we watched him up close. Caravel was coming at us. We're on the stage here, and we got to see Kevin Keister. Normally we watch him fire from 3. The 6 points he scored underneath were 6 of the toughest points he's ever going to have to score as a high school basketball player. So congratulations to Kevin Keister, the 5'10 junior, who led all scorers tonight. I'm sorry, he was the leading scorer for Caravel with 16 points. He is our Crown Trophy player of the game. He will get a plaque in recognition of that honor, as will Caravel Academy. Newark Charter season has come to a close, and they'll now sit back and wait to hear what their state tournament status is. Caravel Academy has 2 regular season games left, both here at home. The first one is on Saturday against Delaware Military Academy at 12 noon, And then their final game of the regular season is on Tuesday at 7:15 against crosstown rival Hudson. For us, next week is our last broadcast of the regular season, and on Tuesday we're heading below the canal to Smyrna High School as the Eagles host the William Penn Colonials. Tip-off of that one is 7 o'clock, and we'll be on the air at 6:45 with our Fox Sports 1290 pregame show. That's going to wrap it up for tonight's broadcast. Thanks to our producer, Earl Holland, back in our Newcastle studio, and for the 302 Sports crew here on site with us. For Marty Sheehan, I'm John Busby. Once again, your final score, Caravel Academy 65, Newark Charter 61 in overtime. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, good night from Caravel Academy.